Yo, welcome everyone. It's another day, another set of scrims, and shortly I'm going to be joined by my magical. He's just running a touch late, so it's not an issue at all. Though we are, about 2/3 of the way through a full lobby. Um, yeah, I'm hoping everyone's doing good, man. We've got the weekend to look forward to. I've had a long week of work, which is finally over now, of course. So you get to chill a bit, but of course you got all the standard house chores to do in the weekend. Some of it I'm dreading, but you got to do it when possible. Either way, let's get into the game. And of course, one of the other kind of additions is there's going to be 4 bans this game instead of 3 because we have for Sprig tournament we have 4 bans. So we're kind of just trying to kind of adapt scrims to that kind of the competitive form. Whatever the competitive tournament format is going to be, we ideally want to kind of mirror it as close as possible. So. Nice, good stuff.
Perfect. Okay. Looks like we're waiting for some teams anyway, so that's actually perfect.
Yep.
I'll run to the gas station really quick.
No worries, dude.
I need a water bottle anyways, because I'm dying of thirst. Ugh.
Yeah, go grab your stuff, man. No worries.
I'll be back.
No worries. Catch you in a bit. Yo, what's up, Kazaro, dude? Feel like it's been a while, man. I've been trying to keep up with all the posts in the official Supervive, that you've been posting, and all the various other people. But of course, I feel like you typically have a lot of quantitative posts that bring a lot of potential value. Should the developers read it. So I'm glad you're keeping up the fight, man. I know a lot of other people have given up. Yo, what's up, Flakes, as well, dude? No worries, Kazaro. You can make that work. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we've got quite a substantial amount of changes. Let's hope. Yeah, exactly, Raxa, dude. I'm thinking the same thing. I have hope with this patch, but yeah, there's still a lot of problems with the game that seem to have eroded the player base again, which is super unfortunate. But there has been success stories in the past where a game's like kind of suffered its player count, and then they did a lot of consecutive good patches and kind of resurrected the game's player base. But we've yet to see if that is going to be the case for this game. Exactly, Raxa, dude, as well, right? There's always like a some optimism to be had with something. Oh, they're going in the right direction in some way, and then so sometimes it's like, why did you guys do that? Yeah, Kazlara, everyone's on the tier 3s, right? At least, well, definitely in ranked. So all the existing items at tier 1 where they weren't necessarily problematic is just now completely slammed out. Like if you got Resonating Idol or Songbow or Isochron's, all those CDRs just become really problematic at tier 3. But it's crazy because we were thinking, okay, the game state felt a little bit slower on tier 1s, but then when we eventually get to the tier 2 armory and tier 3 in customs, it's going to be the same problem we had before. Yeah, exactly, Kazara. But the question is, will they do it? And how fast will they do it? Dude, I even tried to delay having my coffee. I didn't have a coffee in the morning, and then I tried to have one like 6 feet, like just 1 hour before scrims, and I swear it's just not effective still, man. Oh, it's so punishing. 2 stars next week. I think it is. It's yeah. It's whenever the last tier has been released, right? Because we've had one hero on release, then one hero the second in a fortnight, and then the second fortnight would be the last hero. So it should be Armory 2 next week. Then I think 24th. Yeah, I just need to quickly check on the sub team because this Avil team they missed yesterday's scrim block, and they didn't tell anyone why. And then I had to message them like, "Yo, what's going on, guys?" And they're like, "Oh, we're missing like one person, so we didn't bother scrimming." And I'm like, "You could just get a sub, or you can just tell us that someone's not here, so we can actually get a sub team, like a full sub team in. We're not going to waste the slot. I'm not sure why there's like a lack of transparency there, but it happens, I guess. Maybe I guess they're kind of new to the scrim scene, so it. For me, let me have a quick check. I'm just going to go into my other room. All I know is it's hot. I have the fan on, but it's not that effective. Oh, it's like 28 degrees. So, but obviously in the UK, everything's always ultra humid permanently, dude. So everything, the heat just gets exacerbated more, man. I swear. There will be a short ad, but I can't stop, unfortunately, guys. So in about 15 seconds to a minute. Go on, Yui, do it, man. Why not? I hope you're doing a good, Yui. Hopefully, you found a new game because I know that you've not been enjoying this one too much in 1.0 at least. Got like BF6 maybe, or maybe hop on a game that you played before this one. I don't know. Yeah, I filled the void with the Bazaar. They've just released a new character. Oh yeah, BF6 is going to be the one I think. But I've heard really good things about it. But I've said it before in previous streams. They've like scuffed they scuffed the previous releases so badly. So I'm very very hesitant to just buy the game like on release day. But I've heard really good things about it this time though. So Deadlock, I'm not too sure about though. I'm not sure if I could get into that game. Like I played it in beta, like way back, like an hour, well, sorry, a year ago or something maybe. Yo, Kazaro, I even have another a French friend from like he's not from this community at all, and he plays Dofus. Is it like big in the French scene or something? Because I swear I've asked other people like, do you guys even know what this game is? And they don't know what that game is at all, dude. Ah, okay. I got you. I got you. Oh, Yui, surely you've played like Baldur's Gate or something then. I mean, I know that obviously that's probably better to be played with friends, but because I remember you showing me, was it like Divinity? I'm sure you played like Divinity or one of the other adjacent kind of games. Yeah, Raxa, I don't know, dude. And Kazaro, like roguelites are like my favorite, man. I fucking love roguelikes. Like multiplayer or single player, that's like my jam. Yeah, nice stuff. Hopefully, just need one more player for the sub team, and then we're good to go. Ooh, sheesh, Yui, holy! I've been pestered by a friend from a different from another gaming community. Like, oh yeah, get Baldur's Gate, get Baldur's Gate. Oh my god, I've not made the purchase yet. I'm hoping for like a sale during Christmas or something maybe, and then if I have like a week holiday, I just want to degen it with my friend. That'd be super cool. Like I feel like that's the game where you just degen it, and then for the next like maybe 1 or 2 weeks, every dream you have is about the game because you're just living it. You're living and breathing it. Just making sure the sub team's good.
Select your hunter.
Yeah, I tried Raiders, but the game was so repetitive. Like it had a good the mechanics felt really good, but it was like every like whatever 8 levels you'd fight the candle boss like over and over again. Oh, Yui just likes the punishment, man. The game's like ultra punish. I mean, surely you like you've played like Binding of Isaac then, Yui, like Tainted Lost runs or something. I don't know. I need to see you play that. Holy. If you can complete that flawlessly every time, holy shit. I think I've only completed a Tainted Lost run like maybe two or three times. Yeah, see, it's just that because like the Avil team, the sub team, just didn't what's it called? They didn't play because one person was on holiday and they never told us. That so the same thing happened yesterday. I was like, okay, where's this team? They're not here. So then we just have to fumble around and find 3 players. I mean, you should. I'm surprised you've not played Isaac, dude. Okay, I won't spoil any more then. I'm not going to say any more, but that's if you like punishing roguelikes, that's the one to play. And it's sometimes really unfair. Like the final boss or one of the final bosses is extremely unfair. Wait, what happened to this? What happened? Who crashed? Who crashed? Yeah, but why? Why? Tell me why though. Who this? Tell me. I don't mind. Just tell me fast. Tell me fast. Don't tell me it's because you don't like the storm shift. You're a motherfucker if you're telling me to restart like that. You motherfucker, man. Wait, why? Tell me then. You're on your knees. Why? What the fuck? You motherfucker, dude. Oh, Crouch is taking a little trip. What the fuck? Because my team is here now. Bro. No, man, it's
Hello.
15 minutes. I tried to be as patient as possible, who dis. Second game onwards, you get your team, okay, who dis? Yeah, what's up, Magical?
What's up? So we have a sub team.
Yeah, unfortunately, same as yesterday, a team just kind of didn't join because one person was on holiday and they never told us. So,
Oh, well, that doesn't help when they don't tell people.
yeah, exactly. But aside from that, yeah, we've just got into the first game, so you know, I delayed for long enough, or maybe just the world just delayed long enough for you to get some stuff from the gas station, dude.
It did. It definitely did. It's just making sure to adjust everything on my end. I'm gonna start up my stream really
Oh,
quick.
good.
So this is game one. I
An
take
enemy
it.
oracle
Game one.
is scanning.
Perfect.
Super
And
early days.
Super early days. So nothing early's happened. Nothing spicy. Actually, I want to pick your brain.
Go on then.
Because we did have an announcement on things that come. Actually, I'm gonna put that on pause. I'll let you cast this since I still haven't gotten my my stream set up when
Yeah,
we have a fight.
Not an
least.
issue, not an issue. Yeah, so we're
but-
just looking at Shy kind of running away. They're going to be fine in this scenario, but it looks like Tier 1 might be potentially having a little continued engagement with VL. Okay, they're both backed off in this scenario. On the south side as well, we're looking at EV also taking two Sky Sharks down to the right hand side. And 3OP on the top side. This was a full sub team, and this will be I think the majority of the normal 3OP members shortly afterwards.
So
Yeah, they're kind of
nothing
mostly
all
a sub
too
team.
exciting, but okay, while we're waiting for the fights, I thought a fight was about to break out.
And
So-
even I did too, and it kind of just fizzled out there.
Storm tightening.
Welcome back.
Okay, so what I wanted to ask was, we had the announcement of
oracle
the
online.
big patch that's going to be coming with dunks and stuff changing.
Yeah,
But also,
yeah.
we did get some changes on Shiv finally. The hot patch onto her Shiv to kind of take down some of her numbers. So have you noticed any big changes when it comes to competitive and Shiv?
I mean, the problem is there's a couple of modifiers kind of maybe warping the pick rates of stuff a little bit, because we're seeing bans. Essentially, Sprokin's got a tournament coming up at the end of the month, so there's going to be 4 bans essentially after Game 3, and that makes things a little bit. I'm not saying that people are picking different things necessarily, but maybe you could argue in general that Shiv's pick rate has lowered slightly. But I still think she's a really powerful pick, and I don't know if they're basically addressing the kind of actual real core issue, which is you know, the grips, the range grips.
Right.
But you know, they're kind of taking a roundabout approach, if that makes sense.
Exactly. I mean, it's something I had a conversation with Theorycraft, where I was saying that some hunter numbers definitely need to get tweaked a bit. You need to see some of them that we've been seeing really dominate gameplay, such as Shiv, Wukong, Tetra to a degree, not nearly as much as the former two. But
Yeah.
got to see some numbers kind of hit at both of those, and we finally did get to see at least that little bit towards Shiv, but here we go, a little bit of a fight.
Yep. Oh, yes, it's already down. Just 2 members left to Shy. They're going their own separate ways. We've seen Ardent Songbow and Essence Reaper for Hachi. He's got the little movement tech going on with the glides, but Sproking looks like he's going to be toasted unless he can get another dash in at the last moment. Looks like he's also dead, so not looking too good for Shy.
Not all too good, but not out of this either. Still very early days into competitive, the competitive
Abyssal
game so
hatchlings
far.
are spawning
So we'll really
soon.
see how things are going to line up, especially because we are getting our circle really honing in on the heart, which don't often see. Most times we see it towards like the perimeter of the breach, but getting it really honed in on the center part is going to be really fun, especially because it looks like we are starting off with cross-country storm, something we didn't really get a touch on either.
Yeah, exactly. That's gonna definitely make the games. You know, if you're not warmed up for it, it's gonna definitely get your brain in the motion for playing Super Vibe, especially making sure your macros intact. Especially in regards to buying E-plats potentially, or having other various different strategies, like moving around the map, kind of planning ahead especially is one of the key things that will catch people out on cross country. On the south side, it looks like 2 members have escaped and 1 member is left alive. This Wukong, Wody, might be in trouble potentially. Gets a nice little R&B right at the end. Goes down to the south side. Is likely to reunite with his team.
Perfect. There we go. And now I got my stream all set up. We'll get the stream together set up after this game.
Yeah,
so we
no
can
worries. Yeah.
have that going on. But for now, let's see how it all is. And right now, MCP, 7 a.m. Have a little bit of a scrap. Already summoned Napalm used. Bird Bomb a little bit wide, waiting for Kaizar to land one of those headshots, but having Sir Flo go right into the back line and take out the Shrike gone. Now it's going to be Brawl, the next target, but he's able to get out at 7 a.m. Still have everyone alive. Orion doing their best to try to see if they can dodge away from some of the damage coming in from Flood, but Flood making sure they're playing very aggressively on MTB. Don't want to make it too easy since the Heart right behind them. They can go for the revive immediately onto Kaizaro.
Yep, and it looks like Striffer is also healed up to full as well. Looks like they're maybe going to, have a second engagement maybe shortly after they've killed these mobs. We'll see if they, circle back. On the south side as well, on Enshroud, we see kind of 3 teams relatively close to each other. Already trying to get stunning onto Fuzi, but misses. Fate FFD looking really strong armors-wise as well. Also with the Squid.
TR1 is one of our emergency sub-teams, correct?
It might be. If it's not in the ping list thingy, the scrim announcements, then it's likely to be a sub-team, yeah.
Okay, so that's like ooh, what a pull right there!
Yeah.
Was pulling in Blink, but Wukong, one of those hunters that we were kind of just touching on about some of the nerfs that are going to be coming up soon, especially when we look towards dunking, especially. Since I want to know your opinion on how the dunking mechanic is going to change, where it's going to be more based off of your health that has you get dunked a little bit easier.
Yeah, so there's a couple of weird potential interactions. So for example, if you get dunked once, you're going to be a lower Z-axis. That could lead to other things, like if you get dunked twice, kind of what happens in that scenario. Are you lowered the same amount of kind of distance, or is it going to be based on physics where it kind of multiplies existing momentum? That's one of the things I'm not too sure about. The second thing is going to be how is it going to interact with E-platforms, because we know that emergency platforms have this kind of interaction where you can actually spike your teammates or your enemies if they're kind of slightly lower on the Z-axis, and then you use the E-plat. So.
Oh no, 7 a.m. Not in a good spot right there, just losing the fight to EV, and then on the run because they saw that they were getting surrounded by the revived MTB. They've got Kaizaro back up, so only Sir Flo trying to get out of that one, so it's going to be really difficult for them. Even looking at our sub-team here, Minato, our legend here, our French caster that we know all too well, sadly by himself now with the sub-team. A lot of teams actually got it broken up, even missed here. Kuban Cookies trying to get away, but TR1 on the hunt. Wadi up on the pole, looking for the Dragon Slam. Going to get a little bit of damage back on them as they're trying to see if they can put down the wall with a blast, but it's going to be a nice Dragon Slam back from the Wadi to take down Cookies. While Kuba onto the other side of the tracks, trying to survive the best he can, escaping from TR1. Barely going to manage to do so.
Yep, and it is, he's actually got kind of a, semi, it's not really that unconventional. We see him quite a lot on Ghost with the Sword of the Seven Suns build. But this time with Last Bite, which is a maybe slightly different variation, I guess. As well, we're looking at a nice defensive hook here by Spiro King. So it looks like all Shy have been reunited. BL got a nice little bit of poke on both sides, but everything's been healed up again. Almost not looking too healthy though for BL. Like we need to get some repairs in if possible. We see TSM just below them as well. Maybe looking for a little engage. Hook narrowly misses.
And VL now split up, already losing their Kingpin, and now they were trying to get the Guardian Beast. It's going to be a Sky Shark about to blast off in the middle of everything with the Shock Blast, getting a lot of damage back onto Shy. It allows TSM to play aggressively, but couldn't find the picks. Now with second win, it hit the target, but unfortunately, the Shy were already there. We did see off screen, there was our first elimination. MTB going to be the first ones out of this. While Sub fight against 3LP, trying to get the Dragon Slam back on Necro. It's going to be the first casualty for Sub.
Yep, and now they have to make their way around again. We know Minato was just hiding in a bush not too long ago. They've got his team back up, and one's already died again. Nyos and Necros also only level 10s. I'm sorry, level 9s. It's going to be difficult for them to have a kind of extended bit of power with the level 10 ulti. Beastlord is also popped by Libra at the last second onto Wody. He's managed to make his way out relatively unscathed.
Wow, I'm actually a little surprised by that one. Thought there would be a little bit more damage done to him, especially with the armor being in the state that it had been.
Yeah.
They decided not to follow up on that one, instead letting him go, and now go down south, and we see a couple of our teams, the Shy being one of them, that's been in constant battle, this time against two new teams, FFD and NTU, surrounding their position while the Shy are trying to get in a better spot of the circle, not really want to be on that little island and have to deal with so many teams around their position. Yeah,
and Hachi's, maybe trying to force NTU kind of to defend their bonfire, which he's successfully done, and that does allow Shy kind of a safe exit point now onto their train tracks, as we see it kind of slowly kind of roll in. And I did see a team eliminated on the right-hand side. I didn't see which team it was, but I did hear it, so.
It was Sub Team and Mist both getting eliminated. Pretty much in 2 separate fights. So they weren't even in the same fight. 7 a.m. I believe eliminated Mist. I did not see who's eliminated Sub, but it was another fight that was going on elsewhere. So 2 more of our teams now gone. We're seeing how everyone is kind of moving around the map and continuing to hone in towards the central part of the breach, right around Prista Falls. But being cross-country, we're going to go on quite the journeys momentarily.
Yeah, exactly. Going to get that. There's air miles in for sure. NTU, we also saw, did take one of the souls as well. And, they're looking to have a little mini engagement with Shy for some of those day 4 mob resets. It doesn't look like it's going to be too engaging right now. It's not too involved at the minute. But on the top side, it looks like it might be going crazy.
Oh, TR1 losing a pretty bad fight there. The Wadi going to be the only one getting out of that one as EV take control. They're going to be powerful in the moment, and we see Tetraform used down south by 3LP to try to fight against 7 a.m. At 7 a.m., we're able to make a trade of 1 for 1, but they got a lot of damage onto their Brawl, barely holding on with the Dragon Slam to take down Brawl. Leaves just bold, trying to fight against the 2. Purple looking to help out, make sure they can get the revive onto Who Dis for Revel. Now they can re-engage. 1v3, the punch into the wall, elimination on a 7 a.m.
And they also have Immorius right on top of them as well once they recover some health and stuff like that. And Circle's on them too, which is really nice. So it's going to be quite a journey, as you mentioned not too long ago, for FFD and NTU to kind of make it upwards. FFD managed to maintain the arms as well, looking pretty strong with Double Squid and Isocrons, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Air Blaster and Vive Infuser for Dracos. Let's see if there's anything else spicy going on. Thunderbolt, Harmonic Edge, Double Ardent Songbow, Sunweaver, Refractor.
Yeah, nothing too spicy just yet. Pretty much kind of what we're getting used to now. Now that players are getting more used to the items and what we're seeing the standardization when it comes to item builds and comes to how players are approaching it.
Exactly. And Shy, as you mentioned, Shy have been around so many different POIs. They've rotated consistently, and they've managed to maintain armors and health, throughout all of these, kind of random engagements that they've had. And it looks like 3LP are looking to apply a bit of pressure. Just south side, he's looking at NTU. Nice R&B stun, hitting 2 members of Shy. Actually temporarily split. Can he take the pad? Does manage to make his way to the north side. Gonna be fun in this scenario.
But it is. Sorry, I'm starting to get a little bit of lag on my side. So if you want to keep, if there's any more fights, I'm gonna slide.
Yeah, no worries. I can change it to 720 for the next game as well.
Yeah, we might have to because it just started. It was doing well for a while, and then all of a sudden, just in the last minute, it just started getting.
No worries, all good. First stop pick up for Purple. Still, he actually got good use of it in that last fight as well.
Here we go. Oh, there we go. Now it's gotten back to normal.
Wicked.
Okay.
Did you change the servers, by the way, just in case you?
Yeah, I did change the servers. So that's why I was more surprised and it hadn't been acting up the whole time, just for some reason within the last minute. But it does seem like we got it stabilized now. Gotta look at how Shy are now chasing down NTU. Chase them all the way onto the train tracks, but no bullet trains. Not gonna be too much of a threat. The bigger threat is gonna be this cross-country storm. We see how fast it can move. Really force these teams to have to hike across the map and where they need to reposition themselves. But over in the outpost, it is gonna be an all-out brawl on the tracks. Hachi tried to get the engage and they tried to see if they can crash to back some damage, but now with the blast back, they've got them locked down on the track. But even in the outpost, it seems that NTU can heal themselves back up and are going to be fine for now against the Shy.
Yeah, and that LMB was so perfectly timed by Kalangi to provide enough breathing room for NTU to kind of stabilize, because Shy were looking to pounce really aggressively. We did see Sproking kind of walking up those train tracks and then get battered away, so that was a really nice play there. On the same side, at the same time, we're looking at a massive fire and hot. Nice punch by Crouch. Purple last member for 3LP.
Great punch from Crouch to make sure there wasn't that revive that could have possibly turned it around for 3LP. Leaves just Purple to escape, while TSM we saw coming from the south. Dragon Slam going to connect. They've got the gold armors, but they need to make sure they can take him down. Well, they got the revive on the Mr. IC. EV will start to path up north, following the track of Storm.
Yep, and Pep was, been around watching a couple of different teams, with all 3 members. Oh, he's been knocked away in the car temporarily. R&B gets the car explosion. Manages to make his way down to left-hand side.
Surviving. That's the bigger thing to me. It seemed like it could have been devastating for him, but he makes it out alive, while NTU coming from the south out of that outpost that we had seen just a moment ago, getting themselves in a better spot for the potential circle. But every team still following the trajectory, making sure they are on that path beforehand, because if they're not, you can look at teams like down south. Purple trying to get the attention of the Shy with the blast off onto Purple. Couldn't avoid forever. Finally, they will fall while on the tracks. NTU So Kawangi maybe not paying attention. Finally did pay attention, so the train not going to collect its first victim of the day.
Oh, and a nice hook. Dunk as well. Chain CC, there we go. There's no way that Fuzu's going to make it out of this. There's no way. That's illegal. Oh
What?
my god.
Wow.
one HP.
Fuzu making
Oh
it
my
out.
God.
Now the nuke launched at TSM. EV came in from the north. The FFD survived. Fuzu healing back up the health that they had lost in that previous fight, and they might even be able to look for a possible revive onto Fate Strikes elsewhere.
Yeah, I think they were thinking of doing hot, but then they, just stepped in. They dipped their toes into the zone. It was like, whoa, that's way too much damage. They even flick over to the box. But I think Shy have heard that now. Yas is looking to do a little bit of poke. He's now in possession of Dread's Throw as well, which is going to make it extra spicy.
Make it a little bit easier, especially when it comes to locking down targets. If you can use it well when it's across country, it's always funny to watch the stun that you can get. Keep them outside of the storm as we see another fight. Levi gonna unfortunately get caught out there. TSM taking control of the circle for now, while EV immediately path up to that revive beacon.
Yeah, oh, and you see a bomb to try and grief EV potentially, but they have made their way out, maybe completely separated. TSM are also looking to pounce, and everyone's kind of just temporarily disbanded. Ice also looking for a little bonfire steal right at the end on the top side. Guess this is a neutral one, I guess. Not necessarily steal, but either way.
Yeah, unfortunately couldn't quite get it, so our 5 teams still left here. A couple of them down a member, like we see here for FFD. We know EV just got the revive off themselves, so they're going to be back up to full. Seeing how they want to path around everything and where they want to position themselves is going to be key, especially as the storm starts moving, and I'm getting, unfortunately, the lag again.
No worries. So it looks like FFD are looking to rotate fully around the south side, but Shy are potentially kind of mirroring this movement. They've seen it and kind of predicted it correctly. Nice little stun there, just potentially allow Fuzu to live. Actually trying to, get some cheese kills or dunk potentially onto Fuzu. Sprokane's going to seal the deal. The E-Plat is there, though. Perfectly timed. And then LMB Flurry is sent by Fuzu. Hooked back again by Sprokane. Dashes away. Hopefully he can make it out. Looks like Shy temporarily stopped the pressure, but Yas is there for the reinforcements right at the end with the Fusillade. Fuzu still managing to escape. Oh my god.
Draco took down Sprokane on the other side. Fuzu still alive. How are you doing this, man? The Krista finally to fall. It took forever for them to actually get that kill. But because of the heroics of Fuzu, Sprokane was actually toppled. FFD are not out of this game just yet.
Yep, and now we are seeing a res by Dracos on the bottom left-hand side. No one is around him. This is like a perfect opportunity for them to kind of stabilize. They'll likely have no rest sickness before the next fight happens as well. Ice potentially getting caught out here by NTU.
Uh-oh. That's right, see, I don't really see a good way to get out of this one. Kept outside in the storm. Last one for EV. Elimination. As we saw the other members of EV taken down by the Shy. Yep,
and we are seeing Shy back as a full 3-man. They're looking really healthy right now with the armors as well. Picked up a couple more kills. We're looking at, 9 kills for them on the top side. TSM, 9 kills as well. Is it 9 kills for everyone? No, it's 3 for FFD. Okay, they've been playing relatively reserved in comparison.
Yeah, NTU, not at the 9 kills either, so not quite there.
Yeah,
but
true.
Always can, because look at that armor situation they have. Luca already going aggressively on NTU. They push them over the abyss, but keep in mind that the Shine's going to be right behind them. They've lost Luca. Luca might be able to get revived. They got the crowd for Little Me. Huge Dragon Slam with the pull onto the list. Luca not going to have an easy way back into this game. Sprokane wants to make sure they take down Luca, but the Tetra is fallen. TSM lose one player, but they still got the crown. But we see barely any health left. Phantom trying to survive, but then FFD might play heroic for NTU until the Gravity Squid comes in. They've got Kalungi back in the game. Dragon Slam from 2 angles. Lands on Oath. Damage there. They try to pull back. Phantom survives, but now the crown. They're trying to make sure the Dragon Slam will take down Phantom while NTU have won. No more, actually. It's going to be the turnaround from Yes Sir to make sure they take down NTU only to Kalungi while they try to go for the Gravity Squid onto the other side, trying to get away. Kalungi chased down by the Shy. Finally finished off.
Oh, you had the spicy bomb tech there with the squid as well. You just went Mach 10 for, a couple of seconds there, but, Shy did catch him right at the end. The 8 seconds left, roughly, for TSM to get their 3rd member back, to get Luca back.
Wow.
Hopefully that's going to be possible as we look at Shy. Looking to rotate around. Just when Luca gets back, with no armors now. They've got the fan perfectly timed going down to the south side. They're going to be able to evade the wrath of Shy. Armors are looking tasty. Fate gets a nice little TP steal onto Hachi, but he's going to make his way out of this one. Oof.
What a play there from TSM. I loved how they put down the big fan to make sure that no one could get around them. They had to cut down all those trees, and without the Wukongs on a lot of these teams, they couldn't get over there easily to make sure that that crown pop didn't go off. And then the great escape from TSM to make it out alive. Our 3 remaining teams, the Shies, TSM, and FFD. FFD I gotta say, right now they are my favorites just because how many times they've survived. Like,
Yeah.
Fuzu has made some illegal plays in this game on Krista.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it's just got the aura, you know, like as we saw, you know, way back in pre 1.0, you know, there's insane teams would just, you know, people would just be scared, you know, potentially run away. Maybe Fuzu's got it as well. Looks like Lucas having a little dance with the Yasuo as well, as FFD have kind of, you know, slowly walked down. I think that wasn't anywhere but here, actually. TP relatively close to TSM there, but they've made their way kind of into the circle now. Shire on the edge as well. No solid ground. Maybe they've got some E-plats in their inventory to kind of assist with this kind of abyss zone temporarily. All this...
Ooh, great dodge! Great dodge with the blink back there to get away from the singularity out of Facetrax, who has no health. Dragon Slam to take down Fuzu. That's how you get rid of the one that lives. You make sure you dunk him immediately. Well, swap attempted. Another dunk for Blink. Only Draco's left. FFD trying to crash the party, trying to see if they can get onto the other side of the circle, but there are no crowns. There's no respawn beacon. Not much hope for Draco's outside of a fight there with another slam. Blink cannot miss with these Dragon Slams.
Oh my god, that is just something you don't want to happen to you, and especially with someone like Hachi's, you know, very experienced character. I mean, he just wanted to send it felt like, and he did pay the price, you know, with his life there. Hook narrowly misses R&B as well. Spurricane trying to make his way down to the south side. Looks like he's going to be able to do it, but the stuns are going to be coming in flurries now by as TSM, you know, with basically like a triple stun comp. They're going to be off cooldown if they rotate it correctly.
That was a nice tetraform, as we still see that grabby out of Spurricane into the jet stream with the E-plat, but look on the other side. Crown picked up. Can they pull off the miracle? Missing the slam that time, but the slam will bring back in FFD, who find it. Now they got to fight against the gold armor. They look for another slam, but they're going to have the 6 monkey strike going in all directions. Singularity makes it so that TSM don't want to play aggressively, even with the damage on the Facetrax on the other side. He's got a shield. Couldn't swap in time with the back line. They're going to focus on them. They take out Fuzu. Just the monkey left. They try to put down the Dredge Star, try to get some damage back onto them, but it's only Draco's alive. No crown this time. A nice slam pushed into the storm. The monkey, they got them. They look for him everywhere, but Draco somehow is able to get out for so damn long with this Monkey King. He's looking for one more pull, one more slam, but it's a slam from Little Neep, the secure victory.
Very cleanly and precisely performed by TSM. Yeah, I'm not really sure about the in by Hachi. I feel like they had a good position, and there was like so many different angles they could have taken. You know, if they had a pad, they could have used that instead, for example, to kind of avoid the spike kite. You know, they could have maybe rotated around the north side and then went around, but the direct in against 3 spikers is never the angle, especially against the Wukong on a ledge.
Yeah, exactly. So, but huge props over to Dracos for making that a lot closer than it really should have been right at the end. Getting the perfect slam, make sure that they kind of got back into the game momentarily. It almost seemed like they might have something, but then you look at the armors of TSM, you're like, yeah, this is going to be nigh impossible for them to actually win.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm going to try to set up the stream together now.
Oh, I appreciate you, dude.
Yeah. Oh, no, I appreciate you. Thanks for having this all, you know, getting this all situated. The only thing is maybe it's so weird because it ended up working better towards the end of the game there with without lag. I don't know why. Just sometimes it's just like, nope, I'm gonna lag now.
Oh yeah, would you like me to change it to 720p just to see if it smooths things out a bit?
Yeah, let's switch to 720 just to see. There you go.
There we go.
Perfect. It won't be quite as sorry everybody watching. It won't be quite as nice. I did get a sub from YouTube, so someone subbed during the middle of the game.
Nice.
I wanted to give them a shout out. 3Link, I think, or 3Ink, I think is their name. So thank you so much because I'm doing the multi-stream, so it's actually kind of fun trying this out. You know?
Yeah, man. Definitely got to get into YouTubers. Definitely.
Someone's telling me that the Moonlit Battlegrounds Training Grounds games on Monday, where they had some good train kills, and I'm so sad whenever I miss the train kills. Everyone knows me and my train.
Yes, it's
like
awesome.
my favorite thing in the world. Okay, I got it. That's right. That's what I'm doing. Trying to get that set up, and
I've got a journey to finish.
Thank
You
you.
are the drop leader.
Perfect. Join call. Start share. Got it.
Awesome.
There we go. Always have to make sure we get these all set up for us. All right. Perfect. Hopefully got it all set up for everybody so we can share a chat and enjoy some games with each other.
Yep. I just I just found out, sorry, that there's going to be bans after game 2, not even game 3. So
So it's a 2-2. So it's bans after game 2 and 4 then.
I'm not sure. I don't know if maybe it's like that, or maybe it's just I think 4 bans straight at game 2. I don't know because the sample size is quite small then.
Well, that's usually what Spro likes to do.
Okay.
Spro tournaments. Delphi, why are you woofing? The dog started woofing for no. She's not even getting up. You're being lazy.
It's a guest cast, man. We got.
She's literally laying on the couch just woofing.
Oh.
I'm like, why are you woofing? Anyways, but that's usually how Spro likes to do it. Is we'll do it where it's 2 bans after game 2, then 2 more bans after game 4. So it's like the 2 most played after 2 and 4 are the ones that are taken out.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. So
All
game
right.
2, we're looking at some armors on Imhotech. We know that Aiden's back, so then maybe it's going to be a Cold Fang rush for 3LP. That's the typical kind of macro strat that we've always seen. We're seeing potentially 3 teams are kind of not super dispersing on Fragile. I don't know if there's a day 1 boss or they're just kind of fighting for the relic shop after they get their mobs killed and some money. Oh, there we go. So I can't see obviously with zooming in, unfortunately. So that's maybe you can recall which icon that is. Is that teleportation? I could be wrong.
I'll be honest, I can't see because for some reason it's the I'm seeing more pixels than I am seeing a screen.
Oh, okay. I think it was teleportation, but we'll see if Necros is jumping around the map. Oh, it's Infinity. Which one is Infinity at OC? I can't recall the names. Is it the one with the infinite mana?
I think Infinity's infinite mana.
Yeah. Okay. Wicked.
Yeah. OC just confirmed it right there.
Nice stuff.
Being all glitchy again. We lowered the thingy. It should be better now.
Yeah, we're on 720 now.
I don't know, but it's for some reason actually just as bad, if not worse, than it was on.
Oh, okay. I can try upping
1080.
it again if you'd like.
Let's see if we can get into game. It could also be maybe just as you get into game, you know how sometimes
Yeah,
there's so much loading
stabilizes.
up
Yeah.
that it needs to stabilize on, especially like sending it out. So let's let it stabilize first and see if that's the case. Because right now we do see that EV and TU and a little bit of a stare down up in the north, but not actually going to go for the full fight. Wait to see a couple of possible fights elsewhere. I think it was Mist and FFD over in Imhotech and Shards of Fate that had a little bit of a battle, and we did see only the Shy actually being the team going down for Cold Fang.
Surprising, actually. I think they had a little bit of a, or maybe 3LP, you know, they kind of crossed the eyes with each other, but nothing else kind of brewed from their, you know, kind of southwards fight. And it looks like FFD have got all members back already. They're temporarily split. MST are looking relatively healthy on armors as well, so that's looking really good. But,
yeah, everything's pretty standard as we'd expect.
Exactly.
Early game. A couple skirmishes here and there, but nothing too extreme. Maybe. Oh, yeah, as we did see. Oh, yes, sir. Might have.
Yeah, he's DC'd.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Okay.
Just checking if we want to reset because it's already been a little bit into the game. Can we restart if possible? Hatchet, do you have a sub there, bro?
Yeah. If they have a sub, I think we could, but that would also depend on the other teams too, on what.
Because the game's like a little bit. It's kind of in right now, you know.
Yeah, exactly. If it was like the very beginning of the game, like not a couple minutes in, it would be different. But I always feel bad when you have a DC like that, though. It is tragic.
Yeah. Yeah, sub Gecko as well. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I normally have like a grace period of like at least a minute, but everyone's already pretty much farmed. You know, got some level 7s in me, man. It feels a bit unfair to do that.
Exactly. That's kind of my thought process too. It's because at day 1, I would consider not necessarily like it has to be day 2 when you can't like that's the. And I would say a couple minutes in because usually there's a couple farming things, and then you also get some ideas of where people want to drop and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it is a little awkward when it comes to this, but I'll let you guys make the call. That's definitely up to the players.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just make the call this time, but we might need a bit more stricter ruling. So you know, I don't want to just be like arbitrarily allowing or not allowing people in. But my gut just telling me like it feels like it's a bit too long, you know. But
yeah.
Either way, TSM have level 7s, tier 1. Wordy does make it out successfully. Zugzwang also in the wind tunnels, likely to make his way into Koba. We were looking at maybe 2 or 3 teams also assimilating there as well. MST with all, you know, full armors. FFD, Base Strikes manages to make his way out as well, unscathed, as well as Dracos. Nice stuff.
like that from Fate. Just getting a little bit of vision inside of Kobayashi so he knows who's there if they can enter or not. We go all the way over towards Gridlock and see... Oh, not Gridlock, towards the Hollows. And see a bit of a possible fight that almost was breaking out between EV. But EV and Sub, but not actually going to happen too much as we do see another fight that is happening. MTB, TSM. MTB losing San, while the rest of MTB might be able to get on that respawn beacon immediately, but is it going to be counteracted by TSM, the team that did take game 1? Kaizaro, ooh, grabby squid here on strike. Not necessarily what I'm used to seeing here for a strike, and now in a bad spot. Try to get away into the jet stream. Throwing out some of those shots, getting a little bit of damage back on a blink. But the pull, make sure there's no escape there for the strike. Another kick flip away back into the jet stream. Maybe missed. Might save the life of the sniper because they intervene. It's going to be the slam back. Gold armor going to be what is noticed here by TSM. They would love to take that away from this, but not going to be able to do so, while Kaizaro does manage an escape.
Yep, a nice little bit of intervening there by MST. They probably saw the audio cues and wanted to, maybe capitalize on someone who'd used their cooldowns, but they weren't successful, unfortunately. But Gorsha check might be, and actually misses a slam narrowly. The squid does connect very nicely, but Fuzu, I guess he's, bathed in butter or something. He's just slipping through everything, it seems like, this game, or these couple of games, let's say.
I don't know how he's managing it over and over again, just every single time somehow getting away from what seems like certain death as we go all the way over towards the yearbook, the codex that we were talking about before.
Yeah.
He's going to be picked up by 3LP, who already got the pick initially onto MST. You can see the gold armor that Aiden stole away. Cookies and Sinoid trying to make sure they can cover each other's retreats, but 2v3 is going to be rough, especially with Aiden chasing. The Shiv have gold armor, and now the punt back onto 3LP, making it impossible for them to actually continue that chase easily onto Mist.
Yeah, but we're looking at 3 teams potentially converging at NTU, VL, and just below them it is going to be MTV. They got the res off successfully, which is pretty nice, and they just round up some mobs as well to get an extra bit of money. I think everyone is double relicked up as well, so it's going to be it's nice and healthy to see that no one's, well, apart from Numa actually, but apart from that, it's pretty healthy.
And we're still now we go from a game 1 where it was right in the center for our circle, right around the heart. Now we are going towards the perimeter, going all the way out to the edges of Frag Isle and Dawn Cap for this game. And with unstable portals can make it really interesting as we see a possible fight here where it could be intervened by NTU. They have the sandwich on a VL. It is going to be the swap attempted. Now they've already got the Fusillade used. It's going to be the Abyssal Breaker with the Chilling Finale. Trying to see if they can lock him down. Now they're going to be able to move that away. They got damage. They take it out. VL absolutely crushed between the weight of 2 teams. Or 3LP. They might fourth party the third party, but NTU, they saw that already. They're able to mount a defense. They're trying to see if they can swap away. The Sky Shark punting back Hoodis, but right on top of Phantom. Makes it impossible for them to get away easily. And even with an anomaly, they could chase this onto the Broken Shield Oath. We see the fights happening all across the breach. Even here for 7 AM, losing a fight, and then TSM showing up onto the sub team who were able to beat 7 AM initially, but the pull did not grab the members it needed to. Dragon Slam attempted, not going to be slammed back onto sub.
Yeah, we are looking at Phase Walking, and the other one is Combustion on the south side as well as another fight transpiring. Cookies finds Kazaro, like one last member, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, about to die.
Yeah.
San is MTV out 11th place. On the top right side, we're looking at, unfortunately, I know that Yasser's had internet issues, not able to reconnect, so Shy playing, the ultra slow game here, because they're only 2-man. Striffer has already found Minato as well. So that's a nice little pickup there. TSM have rotated around a couple of different biomes as well, so they're probably looking for their next kill at some point. Maybe Spro's also had issues. I'm not really sure what's going on there. I've seen it. Saw him like super in the abyss there temporarily.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but we'll have to catch up on that as we see FFD fight against 3LP. Looking for a Dragon Slam. Nice dodge with the 6 Monkey Strike. Trying to get away. Purple has that revive onto Hudis. Tetra will be back up in the fight. But we look at elsewhere. I was going to say that Sub, I felt a little bit bad for them. They had beaten 7 AM, but then they got sandwiched, and then they almost got eliminated because they did lose Minato, but now they've gotten themselves back on their feet, but they still got to deal with 7 AM, another team that was able to get back on their feet. And we look at how many teams are already moving around Frag Isle. When we go all the way up into the north at Dawn Cap's NTU. Battered and bruised. EV trying to make sure that Numa's not going to get out of this one easily. Another swap attempted, trying to defend, but couldn't hop on the Sky Shark in time with the crown. So instead, it's going to be the one escaping. I
mean, there is a potential rest on the right-hand side, but Sub might be looking to gatekeep this one. But they also have their eyes on the Soul as well as 7 AM and Shy that we do see on the right-hand side. They've actually gone off their E-flat temporarily. Maybe they can hop on the car again, but that's about to run out of fuel as well, so that's going to become even more problematic for them.
Yeah, there it goes.
Drop down.
Yeah, we'll go down all the way to the abyss. And like we're getting in chat, OC15, I don't know how many E-Plats they've got in the inventory, but we'll find out momentarily. With EV and 3LP staring one another down, but neither of them going for the full fight. The Shy still have a couple more E-Plats because I see them still out there over the abyss while these souls are going to be attempted. A nuke sent out and a long-range pull, even with the big fan to get the slam back on a Mouncer. With Sub on the other side, trying to intervene. But the soul already collected by TSM. I think actually they were able to secure that from themselves while Minato trying to play aggressively. Overkill round. Not going to be able to find the target onto Luca, while on the other side, it's going to be the two left members of Sub dealing with TSM. While NTU only down to Phantom has been for some time, and a crown from Fold will make sure they can bring back the rest of the team, while Hachi a little bit late on trying to intervene to bring back up their own crown play.
Yeah, for now, I'm wondering how many E-Plats they do. Never mind, Spruky gets a dunk. Actually gets a nice ulti as well. Maybe he can kill Monster. Actually kills him.
No way!
One member left now for 7 AM.
Wow, they get the crown stolen away, and then they lose the two players to the unknown factor of Shy out in the abyss. They have been the lords of that domain for quite some time. Even if they don't have Yasser, it seems like those two players, Hachi and Sprokane alone, are fearsome enough.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like Lucas also found one member of Sub as well. I think it was, yeah, Nias in this instance. Now they've been having to scurry around the majority of these teams as they are kind of edge keeping. We're also looking at day before mob resets, which, oh, nice little spike there right there by Kuba.
Storm closing.
Nice. Finding a great arcane railgun to be able to connect, get themselves a nice little spike, and set themselves up in a decent spot. We still have a lot of teams left here going in to day 4. About halfway through it, and one of our teams that's down to one player left. Surf Flow here for 7 AM, trying to fight against Hachi, but eventually will fall, ran out of heat. So another team down to the abyss as we see another fight here for Sub. Only Minato was able to escape with their life, and Sub down to one player, and then we see that TR1 taken out on a different side of the fight.
Yeah, there's so many stragglers, and surprisingly, we're seeing Shy just getting that perfect clean 2v3 with no deaths, basically. That, if they had Yasuo, it would have been even easier, but they didn't even need him in that scenario. So they're always ever ready to play those long abyss games and not glide when it's not necessary. Because that did make that was one of the reasons why I felt 7 AM had that kind of difficult fight where they lost someone at least. So.
I'm just looking elsewhere and looking at where everyone's playing. I love that Spro is using all of those death boxes out there that they've created with the E-Plats. Kind of giving those emergency platforms themselves, and unfortunately for Minato right there. Got Dragon Slam back, and then the Tetra trying to blast him back as well. But it's going to be the Rock Blast on each side, trying to set up the Tetra form with a nice slam from the Dragon Slam on a Blink. But Blink could get revived. Luca hopping onto the Wisp, but the pull over the abyss. But a different slam on the other side is going to take down Hoodis. 2v2, 3LP, DSM. DSM, they won the previous game. They're trying to revive Blink, but it's going to be the pushback onto Luca. Cannot get the whip. Instead, it's going to be Little Meat. The try with the Slug Wave. 6 Monkey Strike, trying to go into separate directions. 3LP will survive, but it is going to be by the skin of their teeth.
Oh, that was really insanely done by both teams. Very masterfully done, let's say. But they are going to make it away. Maybe a boxer's attempt that's likely going to be successful. There's no one really around them. We are looking at a res attempt by 3LP as well to get back Hoodis. Rewind still in Aiden's possession as well.
All right, so getting themselves back in the game. Not quite out of this one just yet.
Storm
So we
tightening.
just got to keep our eyes on how teams are moving around and what they're really going to be looking for. Because right now, missed. A huge fight against EV. Cookie's already down, and they set up the walls, but how do they escape past that? They grab the Wisp, and then it's going to blast up into the back line, but a little bit too far for Crush. He's puntered. He's getting too much damage there, and he is kept away from the rest of mid.
That is really unfortunate for them there, and it's going to be really hard for them to stabilize as well, as we do see TSM kind of chilling on the bottom right, getting their final chop in. They're going to hear those audio cues from EV, so they're likely going to be able to pounce very soon, unless Ice can get away with the shift level 4 or something along those lines. Oh, never mind, a hook disconnect, and a slun, another stun, chain stun. Levi's completely toast.
Yeah, poor Levi on that one. Just the chain dunk after dunk after dunk, and kind of go into what you were talking about a little bit earlier when we look at how dunks are going to be changed later on. Is it going to be one of those things where they kind of compile upon one another, where you can build them up and get momentum, or not? Well, it remains to be seen, but another thing that remains to be seen right here is Hoodis trying to go for the engage onto EV. who had just gotten the revive, but they had those rings to get to safety. Or is it safe because TSM were already there and they hit them with a rock to the face, and now they're punching more damage into the back line, so they take down Eevee so quickly.
Yep, and it looks like maybe Yas is reconnected or Hachi's trying something there, but I don't know if he can get him back in this scenario. Or we flick back down onto 3LP versus TSM. Looks like meet this find who this. Very unfortunate start of the fight. Looks like the massive Wukong ulti plus RMB combo. Sinnoh trying to get some damage onto Luca.
Hit by the nuke, sent at them by Miss. Volcanic Crusher from Cookies will take down Little Meep, and then the Shy from the north. They try to engage, but Rokane and Hachi a little bit late on the battle. Miss have already won. They've claimed the victories. They've claimed the souls, and now they've got the E-Plat. What is going to be a pull? Salam! Rokane keeping him alive. Now Hachi's the next one to fall. Well, Miss are having two that can still fight against Rokane. Rokane was able to get the E-Plat up north, but no longer has that respawn beacon way up in the north that they can use.
Yep, and TSM, we do see Blink with their crown. Who just looking to chase this one, as well as Aiden from the right-hand side. Looks like a Blink is going to be a toast. Unless he can get over this wall, potentially just get spiked the last second.
No.
Plain stun. Damage is going all in his direction. TSM are out in 5th place.
And so now our first place team of game 1 eliminated here. 5th in game 2. 4 teams remained. Missed, FFD, Shy, and 3LP. And Shy, despite being down, yes sir, they have been playing the rat game. They've been able to hold on for quite some time. We didn't see if yes sir was brought back up or not because we didn't really get to see him. It doesn't really matter. Hachi and Sprokane, even with only 2 players, it's not like they've been playing that passively. They've been finding some picks. They've been making sure they're getting kills on the board.
Yep, and there is a crown that's, you know, organically been FedExed by the Theorycraft gods, it looks like. So he's ready to pick that up and maybe get Hachi back when he finds an opportune moment. Once that circle just closes in, it is going to be quite a long walk for him, though. And most of the territory on the right-hand side is already covered by teams. So hopefully just maybe slither down the south side before FFD kind of notice him. They've also double chunkered up this island to make it a little bit more, you know, secure. As we're looking at on the top side, Aiden looking to kind of maybe gather some information or maybe do a little bit of poke onto MST.
I think that's the only problem for Sprokane is that while he's gifted the crown, he's not gifted the circle at the same time. So his movement is going to be noticed. But he is going to go for a Deathbox revive. Will Miss try to peel back? They've already sent Kuba to intervene with Summon Napalm. Sprokane not going to get the easy time to revive the teammates. Now, no easy time to get out of this one with the Volcanic Crusher onto his position. Rock Blast as well with the Tetra Form, but the Magma Balls do not connect onto Sprokane to get the dunk onto him. He has that long path he can still take to get into the circle while we have the fight in the circle. A lot of damage onto FFD. A nice use of the E-Plat now, trying to get away from the 6 Monkey Strike. They're trying to see what they can get. Drake goes onto the pole, using the Volcanic Crusher onto 2. It's going to get a lot of damage onto them. But now Whodis waiting for the Dragon Slam out of purple. The Face Strike has already taken out Whodis. And now Fuzu trying to survive, but he's taken down 1 for 1. The Wisp still there. FFD can revive. Well, we see that Miss now on the other side. They can intervene. There's going to be another swap attempted as they got themselves locked in this corridor. Look, it's Rokane. 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Face Strike is gone. Fuzu barely alive. They've got the Grabby Squid connecting onto 1. And now Purple on the pole, trying to see what he can do. While they still have Dracos doing the same as he's looking for a Dragon Slam onto anybody. Doesn't get the damage onto them. And now with barely any help onto FFD, how do they escape? There's no platform left for them. It's only Dracos left. A Volcanic Crusher barely going wide from Whodis. Will Miss intervene. 3LP will have the fight against them, getting themselves onto that little bit of a land bridge while Purple tries to see if he can get back to the island they held before. Dracos was taken down by Sprokane. That means the Shy are back in the game. The Yes Sir is not here. It's just the 2, Hachi and Sprokane alive.
Yep, and if they win this one, it's going to be, you know, one of those bragging rights that you can use forever and ever. To win in a scrim block as just a 2-man, the whole game is, you know, not something to, you know, shy out on. That's super crazy. And Cookies on super low HP, getting ulted by Sinnoh to try and, you know, keep him surviving in this scenario. Does make it out of this one. MST are going to be able to make the way into the island. Hachi looking for the ulti, gets so much damage onto Cookies, but it's been returned in flurry. Hachi's already down now. It's back to Sprokane and Aiden picking up a crown, maybe respectively each.
Yeah,
not enough money.
We'll see right here. Sprokane might just go for the play onto Aiden's crown instead.
Oh, of course, there's another crown there. Insane.
Oh my goodness, Sprokane is being gifted so much on this one. Just literally crown after crown and looking for another play while Aiden, a minute on the timer, has to fight against 3, tries to blink away, understanding it's going to be risky against Miss, especially with the gold armor. Grabby Squid with the Volcanic Crusher and the Rock Blast to try to see if it can cut off the retreat for Aiden. Aiden, no escape. I don't see a way out of this one. He's about to overheat, and they notice this. Miss, put it down. No, Aiden! He found it at the last possible moment with the Dragon Slam on Akuba, who tries to get back there looking for the Death Mark revive, but Cookies has to use the Volcanic Crusher while they're up on the pole, looking for the Dragon Slam on Akuba, taking him down. Only Cookies is left, and Sprokane still has that crown to play with, and same with Cookies, who picks it up right where Sprokane is. But do they realize that Sprokane is hiding behind him as a tree? Trying to make sure, yes, he does. Now with the Slug Wave, Cookies takes a little bit of damage from Sprokane, but the 1v1 duel, it should be interrupted as 3LP back in the game off the heroics of Aiden. Cookies, you gotta do the same. Puts down the Rock Blast, looking for any bit of damage, but now surrounded by 3LP members. It is not looking too good for this lone Tetra against the world. Putting down Tetra 4.
He gets it!
Guess what? Missed. They get their own play against Aiden, the team that just had gotten back off of their own heroics, and now it's Miss. We're beating them, pummeling them. Only have Purple left. He's got the Wukong. Tries to avoid all the damage, but he has to put down the E-Plat barely to get out alive.
And I can't believe it. Another crown has been donated to Sprokane. So I know that he's got some sort of, he's got stonks in Theorycraft. He must have. Purple trying to make his way down to the left-hand side. He's pretty damaged. Half HP. R&B does not get any connection. Squid narrowly misses. Cookie looking for a slam. Does not get any connection either. R&B's keep being sent by Purple. He manages to get the extra bit of survivability that he needs. On cooldown pretty much. Takes the anomaly down to the right side. Out of fuel, unfortunately. Out of gusto. That is 3LP out. That is Sprokane now. Last alive. Can he maybe pick up the crown? Or are they going to check for this tree? It's gonna be the question.
Oh no, they're defending it. Yep, look at that. They were defending the crown, understanding the Sprokane was probably somewhere around and making sure that he has kept away Tetra 4 and putting up the wall. It's a long retreat to try to get away. Bunted into the storm, and it is starting to rain hell onto Sprokane. You did a good job making it a second, but missed deserved the victory.
Man, that's a very nice game. The spikes in the end game were super crazy there. I cannot believe Aiden got that last kill onto Sinoid. Just brought them back in the game. Oh my god.
Woo! Yeah, what a game there. What a game. I'm not gonna lie. Missed. The fact that 3LP, they got the dunk to bring themselves back into the game off of Aiden, and then Cookie's getting another dunk back onto them to make sure they get back into the game and find victory. Wild circumstances.
Yeah.
Whew. The players are saying that too many sub teams today. Maybe should have canceled scrims. I don't know. I feel like even if you have sub teams, that there is value into scrims. That like being able to kind of play out some of these games, figure out what because it's slightly higher in terms of skill when it comes to like even these games with sub teams than it is when you have just regular solo queue when you're by yourself. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's my only thing I'll say. For the players out there that are kind of like debating whether or not they should have canceled the merit, I think there is still value. Is it as high a value as other scrims? No, but it's still not necessarily bad to learn a lot of these things, and I continually practice upon like different calls because you're still playing with players of really high caliber. It's not like you're playing with, you know, if it's pugs, that's one thing. Like if you're playing with someone like me, that is one thing. You're not gonna get too much value out of a game like that, but you're still gonna get value out of games like this.
Yeah, 100%. Man, that was just... I'm just trying to record all the crazy things that happened in the end game. Just too many to count, man. Like the spikes at the end. No. Cookie's getting that narrow, thread the needle spike as well amidst the solid ground that was actually created by a Tetra, maybe himself even. Still manages to get the dunk as well. Super nice.
Yeah, that very, very nice. Cookie's really showing that practice on Tetra and looking really, really good on the new Hunter. So makes me exciting. And speaking of new Hunter, I don't know if everyone's heard yet, because I don't know if there's been posts made. I know I told Tom Kick and he was asking for the name of the event, which I haven't gotten just yet. I do need to actually message Theorycraft and get the name so I can come up with the actual name of the event. But there will be the Mage Hunter event, not this weekend, but the next weekend. So the 23rd. I'm trying to do it for all 3 regions. So APAC, EU, and NA, at least, 3 major regions. So if you want to sign up, I'll let me know. You can either DM me or Samiri, I gave you the link as well, and you can give that to players too.
Yeah, I've done that. So hopefully, I don't know if you got any more signups yesterday, but yeah, I did post that up. So
I haven't looked, to be honest. I had a really bad migraine yesterday, which is also kind of why I was like a little bit late this morning. I woke up and I was like, oh, I need a moment. I need a moment.
Fair enough. No worries. We are just waiting for those bans. Yeah, as you mentioned, you are correct there, 100%. It's going to be 2 bans game 2, and then at game 4 there'll be 2 more bans. So.
All right. So, looking at what our first 2 bans are, Wukong got to be one of them, right?
Yep,
Expecting it's
100%.
Wukong. The second one though, that's the one I'm most curious. Is it going to be Shiv or is it going to be Kingpin? I think it's between those 2. I didn't see if that's gotten posted yet or not.
It's probably going to be KP. I don't feel like there was that many Shivs, were there? There was Aiden for sure. There
Right.
was... I don't recall the other
Yasser was
ones.
playing it, but Yasser was also DC,
Yeah, it was only like
so...
2.
Yeah,
it's
so
more
that's
likely to be
why-
Tetra. Sinno's just saying in the chat
No,
as well.
oh wait, no, that was yesterday. I was looking at the Hunter bans from yesterday, and it was Wukong Shiv yesterday. And so... Interesting. I hope it's
Oh my
not
God.
Tetra. I would like to see some more Tetra game, to be
And
honest.
you never know. I feel like people are just fed up with dunking at the minute, which is of course why that patch next week might be the savior for the game.
I will say this is for a lot of the players in the community. They know that I had a meeting earlier this week with TC, which I said went very well, and that was actually part of it, where I had talked to them about things like this, and they were actively investigating a lot of issues that players had. And one of them, I told them that was pretty big, was Shiv. You know, Shiv, Wukong, looking a little bit too strong, but dunking especially. And I'm really happy to see this kind of change. And this is where I'll put my thoughts into it. I from at least what it looks like, of course, we won't know until we actually get to play it. It
Yeah.
seems like it is more going to be based off of health than just momentum, right? And I think the momentum, it's nice, you know, if you can layer the multiple dunks, but then people can still get annoyed if you just build an all dunk comp. It still has that frustrating element to it. But I feel like having it big based off health now, you know the risks you're taking a little bit more when you go over Abyss. You don't feel like, oh, I went over full health and I got dunked off screen by a Wukong. I feel like there's very little counterplay to that, right?
Yeah.
Now you're like, okay, I'm going over Abyss with 50% health. I know there's dunkers on the other side. And so if I get dunked at this point, it is a risk I have to take.
Yeah, exactly. I think just like how it was with the kind of the glider fuel as it exists in 1.0, where it kind of goes up and when you take more damage, it kind of accelerates that progress. There's still that kind of potential issue where you think you're just safe from being dunked, but then let's say you take a burst of damage and then you get dunked, that will still be a kill, right? And in the same fashion, if you're less than half HP and then someone rapidly heals you, you know, you might be safe from being dunked. So it's going to be, it kind of potentially increases the confusion around spiking, you know, not being such a Boolean kind of state anymore. And, it, you know, because of that variability with the Abyss, the kind of Z-axis. It's going to, I'm hoping it doesn't become a confusing state, you know, in the game, but.
Yeah. Well, I think this kind of goes into what like Sinoid is even saying, like how there's so much Abyss. I feel like that's partly why we end up getting so frustrated by there being so much Abyss, because then it opens us up even more to dunks. And now that the dunks are going to be, I wouldn't say harder, they're just going to be slightly different. And it goes into with the glider field change. It's no longer glider field, it's glider heat, which means that you can glide a lot longer, but you still have these ways that you have to kind of go about them and how you have to really look at whether or not it's worth gliding, whether it's worth going over this Abyss, but you are a little bit more free to do so, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You're not as punished, and that's something I think I do like. I do wish the change happened a little bit sooner. That's probably my only criticism with it. We've been a lot of the community have been saying, hey, this is feeling frustrating. Then we get this, but at least it's happening. At least it's happening in this next patch, and hopefully we'll have we'll really get to see how it goes next weekend when we have the new Mage Hunter event.
Yeah, exactly. And have you kind of theorycrafted what this character might have?
My theory crafting with it is based off of things that Theorycraft has said publicly, as well as what some players are saying. Is their thoughts is it's going to be a little bit more into not necessarily a support exactly kind of hunter, but a support-esque. And that's the thing I feel like is going to be big for me, is that it's going to be support-esque and have elements kind of like an Aluna, but a little bit more damage-oriented than, say, an Aluna.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll have to see. Like, are they going to go for kind of a buff-oriented type of character? Full heal, slight heal. Is it going to be like you brew potions? Like
I think slight heal.
Slight heal, okay.
I'm imagining slight heal or like more maybe buff and debuff.
Ready to cause a little
That's
mayhem.
what I would like to see. If you're gonna bring a mage
You
in,
are the drop leader.
buffs, debuffs would be cool. So you can try to debuff the enemy somehow. You can buff your own team in other ways. Make it so that they're doing. So you are kind of that backline mage. That if you get focused, then yeah, it's bad. But at least you're able to buff up your team in the first place. So I'm kind of going with what people say. It's like there are things that it feels like it's a little bit too late with the devs going on. And like I said, I agree. I am hoping that I can have more conversations with them and try to get the ball rolling on being a little bit more proactive from them. So
Yeah. I think that
But
you know something's been rejuvenated in the respect to
Yes.
communicating with us. But yeah, as you mentioned, we've been in a drought for about 3 or 4 months, and I think that's the bit that's kind of eroded the goodwill of the people, sort of thing. So I'm hoping that can.
And like I said, I agree with it. It's like there's things that we also have to keep in mind. I say all this, but it is a small team still. It's hard. Like I think they're gonna have to do more crunch culture if they really want to make sure that they bring this game up to par, like, and make it so they can get that goodwill back. But I think they're capable of it. Like they're all very talented people. They're like, this game is really good. I enjoy. Like, people can say what they will. I think this game is really good. There are just certain things that they need to be a bit better about, and hopefully we'll see that coming into the future.
Yep, I completely agree. It's like they've got the good like potential foundation. 1 second, I just need to restart the game because someone had picked Tetra.
Tetra, yeah. I saw that too. I was just about to swap it over, and then so it's Tetra Wukong band. Those are our first 2 bands.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm a little sad about that. I wanted to see more Tetra gameplay.
I just need to wait for everyone to type because I cannot type. Wait, I need to type in my own chat, copy and paste the message.
Jake, I will say, if you're spending 40 minutes in queue, you need to re-queue. It's a bug. So, I've had that a couple times. This is something that happens in League of Legends too, that people kind of forget. That if you're spending more than 10 minutes in queue, just re-queue. Honestly, because it usually means that there's something bugged in the queue, and it's put you now onto this tier that... Tried that though? Really? Because every time anytime I wait more than 10 minutes, I try to re-queue, I get a queue popped almost immediately, every single time. I was playing like with Bebonk and Starskees the other day too. And they're like, oh yeah, it's like if I get more than 10 minutes, like it happens. They're like, oh yeah, it's okay. I'm like, no, it's like that's ranked or norms. It doesn't matter. Ranked or norms, I do that. And it immediately pops almost every single time after.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, it's been a shame that the player counts are dropped so much in the past couple of, like, let's say like 2 weeks or so. Super unfortunate, but
yeah, I mean, hopefully, if things go the way I think they will. There are certain things I cannot say publicly, but if things go the way I think they're going to go, knock on wood, within the next month we will be at far larger numbers than we were before.
Let's hope so. I think it's one of those things with this game as well. Like, the foundations of the game are good, but sometimes they just apply a coat of paint that is just really distasteful, to the scene, and then they don't necessarily like kind of just get rid of the paint. They just add another layer on, and it doesn't necessarily like some things about that layer will make it good, and then some things you're still under that first layer you can still see like there's still some aching points.
Well, like I said, fingers crossed. If they do the things that they told me, then it won't be a coat of paint. It'll be stripping off some of the old paint and putting on an actual nice layer of it where it looks good.
Let's hope so. Let's hope it's a fresh coat and it's covered everything. That'll be a nice outcome. But we can only time will tell. It's one of those things, right? As we've always seen before. On the south side, we're looking at Shy going down to potentially Molten, and 2 teams on the top hand side on Shards. Maybe looking to fight straight away, in fact. EV and FFD in this scenario. Trying to get the ever-important level 2. Who's going to get it first, though? Might just be XP equally distributed. No, in fact, EV do get the last hit, get the level 2. Face Strikes has the TP onto the mountain. But I think it's probably going to be Toast. Yes, he is.
I like that swap from Face Strikes. Like, it was defensive, yes, but it's also defensive for his team. So it's easier for them to get out, because if they decide to focus on Face Strikes, who would be the easier target once he used the swap, the rest of his team can actually get out of there a lot easier. So I actually really like that from Face Strike, to make sure that FFD have ways to go for further respawn. They can get farm on their way out, and they're not going to be out of this game.
Yeah, it's also one of those things as well. If they got the level 2, it might have still not necessarily been a win, because some characters just have even like up to weak like level 3. Like once they got level 3, they're probably kind of stabilized, but some characters just having one spell isn't enough to cut the mustard, you know. We're also looking at TSM, maybe bending off tier 1. It looks like they're on the north side, just below them. Full south side, we're looking at a 7am and a 3OP. And Shroom again back now as well, so
Hey.
good stuff.
The 3LP going to be back to full force now. The team that we normally expect that. Funny though, we didn't see them go for another cold chain drop. They were at mana coils, but even with the full team, they didn't decide to go for it. It allows NTU to get all of the gold solo. Nobody contested them.
Very, very nice pickup for them. And 7am are looking to apply a lot of pressure onto Hudis. He's already lost half HP, no mana as well. Probably doesn't have anything else in the tank, to be honest, except for one dash. You know, no mana. Again, the NMBs are being sent in flurries. Hopefully no one gets spiked there. Looks like Full could probably seal the deal. Maybe Monster does instead. Nope, Full does get it right at the end. So 3OP are going to have to be looking for a res now. We're looking at a Harmonic Edge pickup for Shroom as well. And on the top right-hand side, maybe in like another round 2 potentially between these two teams.
Fade strikes. Try to swap over, only level 3. Gold armor is going to be kind of nice, but an easier target. Prison Barricade pushing him away. Look at Draco split away, so that's why they try to go for the play on a Fade Strikes, but he again makes it out. Nice swap away. Fuju next target, taking a lot of damage here from Levi. Pushed back to the brink, tries to get the double dash away. A swap, trying to defend, and now it's Fade Strikes with a spike. They've just been able to defend until Levi took him down with one strike, and now Fade Strikes. About to be fatally striked here by Levi. Tried to get over on the other side with a nice snowball thrown out at them. But unfortunately, only level 3 up against Levi. Not going to cut it.
Very, very nicely done by both sides there. It looks like tier 1 have also been forced out. So there's a sub kind of slowly walk into Cobra as well. On the south side, the rest has just been popped. So it looks like they've pretty much reset, but they've lost the armors. Anything that they've acquired, they've lost it. So we see him getting spiked again, this time by Blink. That's happened twice now where he's glided for fun. Unfortunate.
Even with the glider changes, still has the unfortunate glider tech there getting spiked when overheating. But immediately revived pretty quickly, so not going to be quite out of this one for Mist. They're still hanging around Prisma and be perfectly fine, farming it up, getting themselves back into the game. Looking at pretty much all our teams, even if they've lost players here and there, because how widespread it is. And being bombing runs, bombing runs I feel is like more impactful later into the game, but early stages, not really see too much play. Oh, Mist and 3LP about to meet here.
Oh, Cookies. This guy's been forced onto the north side. Doesn't try any squids, but, you know, hooks on both sides. Nothing connects there either. Sriffo also finds Subtle as well. Aiden looking to maybe try and do some cheese plays onto Sinoid. You've got the level 6 versus level 6. It's relatively even. Cooper on the high ground as well. Stun, heal, connect. Okay, nice.
Vortex Charm, it landed. Now looking for the root, and they're out in the storm. That's a lot of damage, but he was able to survive. A nice Zephyr to keep Hudis alive. Shroom making sure 3LP do not relent any pressure to Mist.
Yeah, we're also looking at Celerity on Mana Cores, and so many teams are stacked up here. Seeing Sub, TR1, and EV. You know, EV have super strong armors the whole time. Cars have been burned up. Neos has to go down to the left-hand side now. It gets knocked away temporarily, his team does, but it's going to be okay, I think, in this scenario. EV still chilling on the top-hand side. Cars have been picked up now by TR1. Looks like another car's probably going to blow up any second now as Crouch goes in for a punch. Knocks off Wody temporarily. You know, the car is now finally blown. Subswang is likely toast unless he's got a bit of extra momentum. Oh, tries the little bomb tech with the squid.
No!
Does not get the connection, unfortunately, though.
Barely missed it. He had the home run bat, had the squid, but the timing was just off by a fraction of a second, so no fast squid out of there. Instead, we look at the fight in Chaos Steps, and it is going to be a first pick already on the VL, as they have to run away, but we look back towards the mana coils and one of our souls. Zerfo almost was able to get a nice dunk there, but NTU riding the Sky Shark, waiting to see who they want to engage. They decide to send it over at MTB, and with the Sky Shark about to blow the shock wave. Blasting back and having 7 AM instead look towards MTB.
Okay, and that car's just been blown up, which just provided them with an opportunity to kind of split up and not continue the fight. But they may circle around and continue afterwards because they want to maybe keep bomb control. Looks like Zugzwang has made it out with 1 HP as well. So TR1, you know, very, very bruised and battered, but are still in the game for now.
Now the other two players over by Kobayashi, so even if Zugzwang does get taken down, they still can revive him.
Yeah,
make sure
exactly.
that Revo is going to be part of the fight.
Exactly. And I just want to clarify as well, it's a Tetra and Wukong band, right?
Yes, Tetra
yeah,
Wukong.
Okay. I'm glad I didn't mistype it then. Oh! And it looks like Aiden just make it out with a slither of HP. Not massive. A hook by Hudis at the last second. Nice dunk though. Ooh, meat.
Nice second win from Shroom. Was able to take down Blink. It is a 1-for-1, but they've already been able to pick up the Wisp. Luca making sure the team is up to full while 3LP are on the run.
Yep, and obviously they had to change their comp, quite significantly due to the bans. So it's nice to see Luna now in the game. We obviously see Sinnoh with it already, but now it's been multiplied, it seems, the amount of bunnies we're looking at in the game. NTU applying a lot of pressure onto S7am. Swiftro on less than half HP. Ford, sending those LMBs in as much as he can. MTV waiting on the right hand side. Some hammers are being sent in when possible. Wayne now jumps across, doesn't get too much value. Swiftro trying to get a bit more extra damage. Does find Spider Brawl. Just 2 members left now for NTU.
But NTU have their way out of the mana coils if need be. Well, we see that MTB, we're pushing in from the south, and then there's a fight all the way here in Ion Acres. Is EV losing out to TSM, only having the one alive. Mr. IC has a nice respawn beacon they can use, and it's an early storm, so not going to be too threatened by it.
Yep, and we're looking at VL TR1. The Wody getting hit by so much damage from all members of VL. Looks like a nice car has been sent in. Zugzwang, how much are they getting with the bomb? Not too much, it's all pretty much reset on the heals from Zeph. We've probably got no heal charges left. Where Dav's on low, super low HP, is going to make it out. Pops the ulti, doesn't get too much value though. Someone will just get killed.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
And Zugzwang then getting pinched by the sub team over the lava. While the train is going to go right past them. They already took down Bebo. It's only the Wadi who is alive on Celeste, who tries to go towards Chaos Steps, and a respawn beacon might have to rebuild one in order to rebuild the team.
Yep, and it looks like Sinnoh is also trying to apply a little bit of pressure onto the ship. He found kind of 2 teams. Numa kind of slightly separated from his team. Looks like the other members have found a Sky Shark. So he's going to hopefully be able to back to them in some sort of a safe manner. Meanwhile, Sun is connected by Sinnoh, gets a massive amount of LMBs. The combo damage from MST, along with Kuba's LMBs. TSM now looking from the south side. Cookies does get a hook on that KP. Dunk as well. That means Blink is dead. 2 members of TSM are now alive, left, hoping to find a res of some sort. Maybe one in zone, as you mentioned. So it's not doing too much damage, so maybe that is an angle for them.
Yeah, it's early. It's still early days. It's still early how you can play, but right now, VL, they were eliminated first last game after they got pinched between 2 teams, but here, struggling in this fight against the sub team. They only have Urshak, who is able to get out as he goes up towards the north, and not really seeing a good angle. There's the base camp that will spot his position. The VL have to be so cautious on how they approach it from now on. Yeah, we're seeing like a massive dispersion now after that kind of initial couple of intensive fights on the top right hand side. It seems to have calmed down, but as Gorshachek makes his way down to the south side, MST might be looking for free pickings here. We're looking at Cookies, maybe getting some like last minute pickups. Hopefully Gorshachek can make it out of this one alive, not be detected by MST. Looks like that might be the case in this scenario, but res opportunities are still looking quite slim. Looks like Aiden's just backed onto the rest of his team now. He's going to be silenced temporarily while TSM are looking to potentially fight. They also got the res off as well themselves. The car's been blown up at the last second. Meep is going to take a little bit of damage, get sent to China, while Wayne, daggers up to the north side because that bombing risk had to temporarily separate the teams. Yeah, I saw the Gravity Squid, the 2 charges of it, and it almost was able to layer up another fight, but now it is going to be Shy fighting against NTU. Blast off over the abyss, looking for one rocket to connect, but somehow NTU, Numa might be able to get out of this one alive. He's over the lava, but it's burning his health, and he's overheating. Numa is down. Only Spider Brawl's alive. Yep,
and it looks like a fight on the train tracks, it seems. MST and MTV. It looks like Cookies might try for a little hook there. He's got the right angle, but, just a little bit too far away. But the Squid and Dunk, yeah, there we go. That's called it. And they do find that the Oath completely separated there just temporarily. And the E-Plat's already used now. San on less than half HP. He's been healed up rapidly with his own heal there right at the last second. Armor's looking really, really dire. And that car blow-up might provide them with just enough time to kind of hopefully recuperate here. At least a little bit of armors. So trying to continue the pressure. Cookies tries to jump onto the train, which he successfully does. And VL are there on the left-hand side waiting patiently to pounce maybe. But they had a look at MST's armors and maybe decided against it.
I did like that, using the car to make sure they get out of here. Now VL in a fight against MST, as they already have one pulled away. He might be rooted over the tracks, but they got Kuba in trade. Gorshachek tried to make sure he can get out of that alive, but a nice dunk from Cookies makes it impossible to do so, leaving a 2v2 battle over on the track. Sub coming in as well as MTB. It is going to be the root from Sinoid, locking down, then MTB, third party. Neko-chan has to try to get back with the same. Subtle is not going to be able to help him out. It's only going to be the one. Then the spike from Sub to take down VL.
Yep, and on the south side looks like 7am, just chilling at the moment. We're looking at what's it called, Masamune in this scenario for Swiftro. I think a Res attempt was successfully performed as well. Just heard that one. Looks like 3LP, sorry, might be in big trouble here. MST applying so much pressure here. Shroom now temporarily separated, gets a spike. Who this? Sproken finds a kill onto Aiden as well. They're going to hopefully try and get that res in as soon as possible.
But
Successfully
MST
done.
do not want to fight that one. It was a 2v2.
Oh!
Well, it might have been even. The pull is all that matters, but they have an E plan, and they took down Hootis with the crown on their side. immediately turn that back onto 3LP.
Yeah, and that's what I was mentioning about the E-plat mechanic. You know, not many people know about it, but you will get a spike on someone if they're kind of directly below it. Even on teammates, so I'm hoping with the dunk changes that's all, you know, kind of been considered as a factor. Meanwhile, Luca just get a nice little stun with the squid. Very nicely done, taking out the last member of 3LP, surprisingly, 10th place.
Very early exit for that team, and well done there from Luca and TSM to make sure they got another knock. And one last team to deal with, but we go up in the north and we see EV struggling against 7 AM and against NTU. Bold is trying to use those easy plots to get away, dashing back towards the rest of the team, but it's over lava and it's in a bad spot. NTU and FFD are both here at the engine.
And this is like a, you know, absolute cinema for Monster if he gets the Vortex Charm, because it is in such a suffocated small corridor. Never mind, actually hit the what's it called, the nade to reduce the armor to 0 there. And luckily Monster does not get hit by that singularity. It looks like now NTU are in the bad position. Still, FFD trying to apply pressure from the left-hand side.
They were trying to flank 7 AM, then somehow almost got sandwiched between 7 AM and
yeah.
NTU. Then they make it out, while NTU have held on to this position in the engine this entire time. This is given a moment for 7 AM to look for another Vortex Charm, but we're going to have another sandwich. It's going to be on to 7 AM again, and the alarm is ringing. It's going to be them falling first. They've lost Mouncer, and then FFD playing aggressively onto NCU, breaking up the engine, making it impossible for them to fight. Now they're on the tracks, and look at 7 AM cleaning up as NCU flee two separate directions, but two teams upon their position. Only Spider Brawl is left. Thankfully, the train might give him a way out of this one until Levi spotted him out. Spider Brawl has to pull off a miracle here to make sure they get out alive.
Yeah, and meanwhile on the south side, we're just looking at Meat last alive still, just trying to, you know, circle around any opportunity to kind of get a bit of breathing room. We are looking at also EV kind of chilling in the bushes, in their own separate bushes as well, to kind of maximize survivability. Meanwhile, as we just saw before, Spider Brawl on his last legs does get spiked right at the end by Ford. That is NTU out 9th place.
Yeah, unfortunately for NTU, that position in the engine was always going to be difficult. The storm behind them, two teams surrounding their position. They're hoping that they could that they could sandwich a third party there, but it was just a little bit dire. Now we look at a team that's looking a little dire here. The Shy, yes sir, tries to get away, but pulled back in by Mist, and they have no real way to get out of this one. Another Gravity Squid on to Shiv in the storm and eliminated early.
7 kills, 8th place. Oof, not as good as they had before. Maybe they need Yasser to DC again to get another 2nd place, man, but either way, you know, it's just one of those things with Battle Royale games. It's very hard to be an ultra consistent team. You know, if you just manage to have a couple of bad fights, even though they're close, you know, you're just left with dire straits. And sometimes you can recover if you manage to get a clean third party, but you know, the game is kind of extremely variable in some scenarios, and that did result in Shy dying there.
We look at 7 AM and sub. A nice push back for the 2nd win, but here comes the bombing run. They still fight over the position, while FFD coming from the north, trying to get the slam on 7 AM, but they have been split up, and they got the slow wave coming out, but Trinkos instead might focus on sub with a nice bomb to take down Necros before the revive was there, and only one's left to swap over the abyss. 7 AM trying to get away from FFD, but Fold cannot do so, taken down, only leaving one left, as Triff Pro has no real way to escape from sub, who have been able to resurrect the team. Another arcane railgun snipe to take down 7 AM.
Oh, and just as that happens, MTB are now looking to completely collapse on the last 2 members of sub. It is just Necros. Well, sorry, never mind. There are 2 members left. Neos trying to escape as quick as possible on that Phoenix. Doing a massive damage drop to San, but FFD are looking for a piece of the pie. Looks like they're going to do so much damage to Necros. They've got the singularity here as well. That is sub out in 6th place, and shortly, just afterwards, FFD are going to keep applying pressure onto MTB. You know, they're just in wrecks and ruins. It looks like gets the hook. And Kazaro is trying his magic on the lava, so maybe able to get this res off onto Wayne at the last second, but Buzu keeps applying the pressure. It looks like a Naldhot has also been placed. We're going to have to find out where that one is placed very shortly.
Yeah, especially because Kazaro still has to escape from FFD regardless. Bird Bomb to connect, Fate Strike swapping away, but then it's missed from the south, trying to get onto Kaizaro. The last strike left, the nice air blast away, but they hadn't gotten the target landed, and now they have been able to escape with the help of FFD until Dracos peels back, saying, I'd rather eliminate this team while they get the singularity. A 2v3 fight for FFD. Now Dracos has to rejoin with the team, missing the pull. Kaizaro on the other side, MCB not eliminated just yet, while EV intervene on a miss. They got them low on damage, but they have to make sure they aren't getting collapsed upon. Grotches has barely any health. The chilling finale could lock down 2, but he's got to get behind the wall. And it's going to be 1 taking down Kuba. The target missed. Have Sinoid playing aggressively onto Levi, but Crouch was able to survive. And now, with the bombing run onto Cookies, they have to get out of there. They cannot save the Wisp anymore.
Yeah, that is an insanely lucky escape there from Crap. Never mind. Oh, he touched the edge of that radiation and actually died to the world there. Hope they can get this res off. A nice little, defensive hook. Maybe you want to call it by Levi. It was the scapegoat in this scenario, but now he's been the scapegoat for FFD. It looks like a puncher at the last second from Crouch, trying to provide Levi with an extra bit of survivability himself. Everyone is playing the sacrificial goat there, it seems. Ice does pick up a crown, an organic one right at the end, but MST are looking to maybe have a piece of that. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, it looks like another fight is transpiring.
Swap attempted by Fate Strikes, low health, summon Napalm. They've got damage on him. They're looking for the snipe, but they couldn't land it. Now with the Mega Avalanche from Cookies, FFD over the lava as they are still mounting their escape away from Mist. But Sinoid not making it easy, trying to play aggressively on a Fate Strikes who has a shield and a swap. Get back to land and look on the other side, EV. They had that crown earlier, and I think they actually just went straight for the respawn instead of waiting out the crown.
Yep, and I don't know if you've seen the Nord art yet. I've not actually seen it myself. I'm gonna quick flick around. Hopefully, there's not any action going on. But don't see it just yet. Am I blind?
Oh, there it is. There it is. It's outside of the storm right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I see it now.
So right there. Got you, right there. So I barely was able to see that. We are getting our storm pulled down towards the Gnarled Heart. Our 3 teams left. EV, FFD, and Mist fighting with one another, but Mist almost having to engage from EV, but they are golden right now. Same with FFD. The only team that is a little battered right now is going to be EV, and they lose one right as they pick up gold armor. It was a bait the whole time.
And I'm pretty sure Dracos is French, but maybe he's got some German genes in him, because that was like precision engineering. That was just incredibly clean there to get that grappling dunk down. Oh my god, the timing of it and the kind of aiming you need to have to kind of gauge the momentum was just so precise there. Very nicely done.
Also crazy to see with Dracos. Dracos is such an amazing Celeste player, and we normally see him playing that Hunter, but here with the Kingpin really showing off those mechanics too as Levi playing aggressively, but Mist. They aren't even joining in just yet. They're waiting for the fight here. Dracos looking for the pull. Mr. Ice-T going to be the target here, having that crown. They're playing as defensively as possible, throwing out a lot of the icicles and waiting to see if they're going to play aggressively onto them. Chilling Finale still in the inventory for Mr. Ice-T. Does he want to play onto FFD while Mist are looking for the flank? They can sandwich this team. And Levi doing his best to defend, make sure the crown's alive. And now he's going aggressively himself while we see that Mr. Ice-T's gone for the long play all the way around. But on the other side, Levi in the 1v3 against Mist. Pumping out the damage on the Cookies. Taking down one. Levi fighting against Mist. But they still have the revive onto the Wisp. When we see a dunk takes the crown right from underneath Mr. Ice-T.
And Levi just picks up the crown straight after. So it's 1 minute 20, and he just held his own against, basically a 1v3, kind of continuing to show Shiv's strength that we are looking at Sunweaver and Refractor in this scenario. And it's actually going to provide a lot of value having Refractor in these small circles, because everyone is typically clumped. So, we are looking at a TP play from Face Strikes. Is he going to get the stun?
As Levi has to go right through Fusillade, but no escape. Levi, your heroics, we love them, but unfortunately there's just no real way to live.
Yep, and Face Strikes is trying a little bit of a, a kind of kidnap play, but it was unsuccessful. We're going to continue to try that whenever possible. And aside from that, it looks like it's just going to be a consistent, kind of eye-to-eye hold off for these small islands. Maybe they try to cross over, but Cookies is obviously on that KP. Maybe he gets a nice hook in to kind of start the fight off. He dashes away that one nicely.
Mist looking for a back-to-back victory here against FFD. The FFD, and they're looking just as strong. Both teams is really going to be the might of one another against how they can play around these Kingpins, especially if Cookies or Dracos is able to land one of these pulls, or we see Fate Strikes with a really good kidnap onto someone like Sinoid. That can lock down victory for FFD, while it Mist. They just need to make sure they're not getting hit by that singularity. A swap onto the other side of the bombing run, trying to force the hand of Mist into the territory that FFD have, but not really looking too strong for FFD with the circle. It keeps pulling down towards Mist.
Yeah, I think the main kind of engagement here, even though they have their own KP as well, of course, is either going to be Fate Striking in a massive singularity or some sort of kind of yoink stun with the squid. Or maybe, in fact, there may be an LMB exchange. Oh no, he's already popped the squid. He's gone down to the south side. He's used a lot of his, really high value mobility, and Fuzu had to go down to the south side to kind of poke Kuba to kind of draw the attention away temporarily.
Trying to get a little bit of that damage onto Kuba. That long range from Ghost, poking at them as many times as humanly possible. And I do see the play from Fate Strikes, what he's trying to do. If he's able to land it, it's going to be beautiful. But now losing his shield and hitting the root, this is going to be devastating. A slam immediately onto Phage Strikes. Sinoid already starting out the fight well for Miss. And now they can play aggressively. FFD in a horrible spot. They send out the Salvo to try and see if they can revive Phage Strikes at the same time. They have been able to bring him back, but it is going to only be the one. Krista on the other side. Fuzu has to pull off the most legendary Krista movement I've ever seen in my life, especially when you're surrounded by Miss on all sides, and the slam, the pull, the slam damn pull coming in as they're looking to see if they take down Fuzu, and Miss get 2 in a row.
Very, very nicely done for them. Super nice end game. Very, very calculated play by Cookies, just as Dracos did before with that, the grabby squid's dunk. You know, Cookies kind of just mirrored his actions there to get that first kill, which just made them kind of crumble apart there, 50. So, good stuff to MST there.
Exactly. So well done out of MST, picking up 2 games in a row here. All right, I'm going to take a quick little break because I got to use the bathroom, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries. Oof. Good stuff, good stuff. So game number 4 it's going to be, which is 1, 2, 6 bullet. I see you, Sinoid, I see you. So bullet.
Ready to cause a little mayhem? Select your hunter.
Another mission. Good.
Alrighty. So game number 4 is going to be Bullet Trains, which is of course Magical's favourite Storm Shift. And I think that's another thing to touch on as well, right? We kind of lost a couple of Storm Shifts in 1.0, and that is another thing that adds a lot of tacticality and macro to the game. I feel like a lot of players are already kind of pretty well established on the strategies required for the existing Storm Shifts. So I'm hoping that they can conjure up a couple more, maybe like 5 more, just to continue adding more macro state to the game. And of course, not all of those 5 will be competitive. Will have the competitive slant on them, but even if we get a couple, I'll be happy because it does increase the variability. It does cause people to kind of have different thinking patterns when it comes to the macro strategy, maybe how they spend their money and things of that nature. So here's hoping, but they've not said anything about that one yet either. So we are looking at EV already dropping on Dawn Caps. Looks like everyone is relatively well spread so far. And never mind, 3 teams on Vanegrove. Actually, 1 team going for the train instead. Maybe 2. Maybe to look into dance on it. No, they've gone to the right hand side. Both of them actually in this scenario. Tier 1 have already got first dibs over the first couple of mobs in Magebog, while 7am also on the south side as well, fighting that mob up. And then they may both rotate to Magebog. I'm not really sure what the scenario is going to be. TSM also trying to fight for territory here against their 3OP, while they're going to do a little bit of split farming. Shroom on his own. This has picked up a Sky Shock along with Aiden, so they're probably going to go to Cold Fang with their standard strats. And yeah, basically everyone is very, very healthily dispersed so far. This is unlike the previous games we've seen where there's a lot of scrappy fights. So 7am actually decided to go down to the south side, but you know, obviously this is already in TSM's dominion. They've already pretty much farmed the gold mob here, so it's going to be quite a hard thing for them to fight, kind of being maybe even 2 levels under in this case for Luca. Blink is already sending it forward with the defensive dagger, and Blink manages to get away at the last second with a slither of HP. Luca can hopefully heal him up once he's got his next healer cooldown. A nice little hook attempt from Meat to try and buy a little bit of time, and now Luca's temporarily separated from the team, so hopefully he can make out this one. The Face Steel Chain does not connect. So it's going to be okay in this scenario as he keeps jumping away. Going to be out of LOS and should be fine. Welcome back.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
No worries.
So here we go. We got to see how everything is. Don't see really too many changes so far. You know, everything looking pretty standard as we'd expect because there's going to be bans after this game.
Yeah, exactly,
But
yeah.
honestly, looking at it, I'm surprised Shiv didn't make the ban beforehand, but it's definitely going to be Kingpin Shiv after this.
Yeah, that's likely to be the case, for sure, I reckon. Maybe it's one of those things where it's like a strategical. You could argue some people can play the game almost of you know, trying to gamify the bans in some respect, especially when bans are in intervals, like a 2-interval ban and then a 2-interval ban. That does allow people to potentially play their character for a bit longer if they kind of weave in the characters, you know, between the games, sort of thing. Potentially, you know.
Right. I'm kind of looking. Honestly, it almost makes me want to introduce bans when it comes to the hunter-specific events.
Yeah,
Just to
sure.
have something fun like that, where it's like obviously the most play would be whatever hunter that is, but to make it so that hunter really can shine, would you'd introduce bans on things that we see too often to make it so it's even more that you really have to play different styles around that hunter and what's going to really build them up. But right now, see a potential fight here in Imotech. A lot of damage on Anaios. Okubo is trying to play aggressively, looking for the snipe, not going to be able to land that, and now going to be pulled back in the fight against Krista. Minato getting a lot of damage while Sinoid on a separate fight against Necros. Necros might be able to wrap around. Nuke has been launched at them. That whip is not going to be saved. Minato now has to fight against two as they double dash back towards the engine.
Yep, and it looks like, aside from that, there's only one other fight happening on the south side. It looks like MPB just opened the vault, going to grab some goodies, and I'm pretty sure in this scenario, FFD did hear them, but I think they're just getting their relic bias before they kind of continue on to maybe look to fight them on the top right side. I think there might be also another fight brewing here, 1-for-1, and also a res, it looks like, as well, so it's going to kind of neutralize things in this scenario.
Yeah, so Res Zugzwang is going to be back in the fight, but we see the Wody this time on Bebo. Going to be on a jet stream path away from anything, and then both of them low health. Sky Shark, then no jet stream will save you, missing the crash. He went underneath them. The elevation for the Wody, and now he's found his own bike. We are about to have a battle over the air as no, the Wody doesn't even go for the revive to try to stop that. Instead, just gonna get out of there while all that health was taken back by the Shy. Yeah,
I think for Night 1 especially, you kind of want to recuperate as fast as possible. At the same time, a nice little squid play by Luca. Just get the stun connection as well. That's definitely going to be way in dead in this scenario. So it's just San now, last alive for NTB. As we see, most of the teams kind of make their way into the circle as it currently stands. We're looking at Ever Oracle and Hyper Haste in this scenario for the Night 1s.
Okay. Ever Oracle, really good one. I like that one a lot.
Yeah,
playing
100%.
very aggressively over that. Well, Levi trying to play aggressively with the Sky Shark to help him out if they can blow that one up, getting some damage onto them, but not going to actually be able to find that. Instead, they're going to have to get away from this to take down Levi. Even Crouch on the disengage on the south side, taking a boar on their way out, but Grabby Squid landing on the Crouch with the pull too. No escape for EV.
That was a very, very nice engage there, and also you had to just give up on that scenario. Once the squid connects and he gets the stun, you know, even though you've tried your own evasive maneuvers, you know, you're out of you're kind of out of everything at that point. And Hachi's now trying to, you know, perform an aggressive tracer to Quadas. Narrowly avoids, you know, misses the ultra, I say. It's absolutely sent right at the last second and is spiked.
And leaves only Zugzwang as we are on our bullet train. My very favorite storm shift here as Zugzwang, unfortunately, not hit by a train, hit by a bike and the rest of the team. They're going to be our first team eliminated here.
Yep, we are looking at a lot of teams converging kind of on the right-hand side there, kind of on the heart and on Vaingrove, as that what's it called? Everhaste is in scenario?
Yes, I think that's Everhaste.
Yeah, that one
I'm still getting used to a lot of the icons myself. So.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes they're just hard to tell. And, Hachi just get a nice little punch with the stun connection onto Crouch. Super low HP. Oh, and the squid narrowly misses by Spro. That would have definitely been a kill. Gas is there with the calf reinforcements, but he's a touch late. But now they do have full control over that red Everhaste now, which is really good for Shy.
Yeah. So, Bissell Hatchling for the Shy. Really good to have all that haste so they can play even more aggressively while NTU against 7 AM. A nice juke initially by Numa, but only Phantom now stands up against 7 AM and pulled back in by the Vortex Charm. Tries to heal up with some help of some berries on the way out. Although it might be hard to take down immediately, eventually will fall to all three.
Yep, and all on the top side looks like two teams are definitely going to be meeting each other. MST looking super healthy in the armors, and kind of similar with this situation with Sub here. Everyone has double relics as well in this scenario, so we need to see who gets that initial stun or initial bit of CC that typically starts things off. But everything's been missed so far, but never mind.
There
Cookies just get the hook, the stun. Everything's been chained on. Nice. Completely toast
Had
there.
summon napalm from Kuba to make sure they could secure that kill. Thought for maybe a second there was going to be something bad. Oh, wait, we saw that there was actually the intervention by Eevee in the fight on the north side. Well, we do see on the south side the 7 a.m. get eliminated. Right as we turned away, it was the Sky Shark deck with the chilling finale on the Mist. Eevee now destroy Mist. Only Cookies manages to escape.
Yeah, and surprisingly, he's not going to get chased here. He's backing somewhere, so I think, is this his bond? I'm not sure. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
that's his.
just the 2 shades of red, there's a 50% chance I'm wrong. It's one of those kind of ones. And Cookies does manage to find a car that he's parked in the garage. He's going to be fine in the scenario. And just south of it, we're looking at Spider Ball. That's live. He's picked up his own car too, so... And meanwhile, on the south side, there's an absolute, brewing pot of teams here, just all meeting up, coalescing. It looks like Shrew has just narrowly made it out as TSM continue to apply pressure. They're trying to get the res onto Hoodis. The pickup, they do manage to get it successfully. Aiden, whoa, very nicely done.
Nice. There we go. Gets onto the tracks, but guess what? The train is about to start coming down the tracks, and we see a fight here between Mist and Shy. A lot of damage and broken armor. Divine Intervention is going to be in time. Sinoid could not keep Cookies alive. It's only one left now for Mist. It's Kuba trying to survive while we go back to the track. TSM fight against MCB, taking down Kaizaro. Now another train. Go right on past them. YN has to be cautious on that one. Could have got caught out. And we see Kuba, the last one that stands for Mist 200. Hit by the Grabby Squid, taking the rings with the blast off, trying to keep up with Mist so they can take him out. Summon Napalm, getting a lot of damage. Even with the stun grenade, it's not enough. Mist are not going to find 3 in a row.
And just to the left there, it looks like another fight is brewing as well. Looks like Sub and FFD in this scenario. Because looking relatively unhealthy on armor. Looks like Fate Strikes tried a little bit of squid play there. Would have been crazy if he hit that onto a Necros, but no one, everyone's relatively unscathed in this scenario. We're looking at festering Jawblade as well for Nice as well. Oh, he got sniped by the boss laser.
Oh.
No, Necros. That's illegal.
Necros. Tragic there. So already losing one, and then we see Numa taken down up north by EV with VL. Team that has been struggling a little bit in the day. Has been able to hold on to the engine, and they're looking towards that potential soul. But over at Site 38, 3LP and TSM. Fuselage for Fuselage with the Sky Shark taken by Shroom trying to get away. It will only be his own escape. Had to leave Aiden out to dry.
Yep, and there's probably going to be this res that he goes for, but we do see FFD. They've just taken the soul, so their next rotation, if they wanted to stop here, is going to be north, and they'd actually do back instead. So it looks like it's going to be a free res in this scenario. Very nicely done. Maybe nicely timed, you could argue.
Enemy Oracle online.
I think a little bit lucky there for 3LP. Had
Yeah,
been
just a
couple
bit.
seconds earlier that they had gone on the respawn beacon. FFD probably would have immediately turned to try to get the fight, but because they had already nearly completed the recalls, they're like, yeah, we'll just let them go. See how we can play on the rest of the map. But we see a lot of teams. More of a chase here in pursuit of a crown for MTB. VL now pinched between 2 teams. 3LP who got in the revive, and now it's going to be the Fuselage pumping out the damage onto VL. They put down an Abyssal Breaker trying to escape, leaving EV and 3LP to do battle. Getting a lot of damage onto Shroom. Going to be the target, but an E-Plat with the second one blocked by the Frozen Barricade. Chilling finale onto the E-Plat created by 3LP. But EV, they still have power. But for some reason, Levi was never a part of that. Now Spider Brawl, having a crown, could intervene. Could look for a low health target. Mr. IC could be that target, but 3LP, they've been standing their ground on this boat this whole time against EV, while Crouch getting tackled by Shy on the other side with the blast off. They're trying to crouch onto Crouch, and they've taken down one player of EV.
Oh my god, what an absolute chaotic fight there as teams just continue to like 3rd party, 4th party, 5th party. The numbers just keep increasing. And it looks like Shy did come out on top of that. They've accumulated a little bit more power than they even previously had. We're looking at Yasa with relatively strong armors as well. NTU, is it just Phantom? No, Spider Ball still around somewhere on the left-hand side. We do see a crown pop. Looks like NTU back as a full 3-man right at the end.
Right at the end. Perfect timing for them. So they'll be back into this fight once again. But we see VL. They have been struggling for a long time in the day. They're probably one of the furthest they've made it in our games of Scrims today. But unfortunately, there's no more health for them to rely on. And now, go back towards EV and the Shy. Sprocane with the pull onto Levi. Looking for the slam, but so many E-Plats. Put down, trying to save Levi, but he's been bounced around forever. And Shy will collect that first casualty of EV in that fight.
Yep, and NTU now looking from the left-hand side to try and get some potential free pickings because maybe some cooldowns have been used, some useful ones. They're trying to use those E-flats just temporarily. Armor's looking very, very healthy. 4 shy in comparison to NTU. Numa just have to jump back on the last second after popping his ulti. And Phantom gets actually a mega ult with a nice R&B right at the last second. But he's not doing too much damage while as that tank Oath. Spider Brawl now has to face steal chain away temporarily. Numa now on the left-hand side sends a couple of autos, but now 3 OPs here as well again.
Just Aiden, though. It was just Aiden who showed up.
Yeah, circling around.
Like, wait, I don't want any of that. I didn't have Hoodis with me, so instead, we'll get out of there. Well, NTU, they hadn't quite fallen either. So a lot of teams, they lose a player here and there. They're able to at least stay on the breach for some time and kind of waiting right here. There's that recall being attempted. I thought that maybe that it was kind of looking weird there for that bot side fight. I was wondering what was going to happen. Is right now we look at Spider Brawl. Crown with a dunk onto Yasir, but he's been split away. That's going to be the target. Well, EV have been able to get the kill on to the sides. We did see that the Crown was proc, but not actually taken by Spider Brawl. He missed that barely. Look at Smaller Dunk again, but missing that one. Well, they're 2 crowns. Then MTP's Kaizaro. Make sure NTU do not get theirs.
And Aiden just manages to dance around that chaos perfectly. Still has the crown in his possession, and it looks like a way-in are looking. Well, sorry, MTV are looking to collapse fully onto EV. They do a massive amount of damage. And now that the ward is also down, it does provide an easy opening. Hook is narrowly misses as well. Ice trying to provide that flurry of LMBs to kind of slow down MTB just temporarily. Still with the shift level 4. It looks like the last member, 3OP, is finally found as well. We're looking at Numa, still last alive, trying to go for his own res as well. He'll probably be sent into zone temporarily. Endgame, it's going to be a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage. It's a bullet train, so it's going to take him a far ways away. And even look at where the circle is going. They might not have time to get back into the circle. No double dash left. Might have. Oh, Numa survived, but then Mr. IC says, hey, wait a minute. Who's this on the tracks? Gets rid of Numa. Spider Brawl 2 trying to survive as they have their ult on the other side, but Spider Brawl is going to be the target for Crouch to take him down. Well, almost the pull from Little Meep. Phantom puts up a shield to try to survive, but out of this one, you have to go over a wall in order to survive. And TSM, they've already got great position. They force you back into the zone yet again, taking a bit of damage. Phantom not looking too good for NTU. A nice push back with the spin dash, but Mr. IT, same with Little Meep. They've made sure they've corralled Phantom up into the northern part while they've got the lockdown onto the crown. So no revive for EV. It's just Mr. IT left.
Yeah, but I think now he's found that opportune moment to kind of circle around. I was thinking, why is he not circling around? Why is he not doing it? But I think it's because he knew that TSM would quickly collapse if he did that. And that is the case in this scenario. It looks like Ice does make it out in this scenario. 4-3. Freestyle just popped. Hop onto the car. The hook as well. Going to get knocked down completely. NTU are out. 6th place. It's a very, very hard fight for him to navigate, honestly.
It was a nice try.
Yeah.
It was a nice try from NTU. Phantom, I knew what he was waiting for, because no matter what, if you went too early, TSM were just going to pull.
Yeah, of course. I'm like, please, TSM, let him go. Give him free passage this time. It's like a bouncer, man. Yeah.
Right. It was so close.
Oh.
Now looking at the rest of the map and seeing where teams are 5 remaining here. TSM, they did take game 1, so we could have another repeat victor today, because missed taking games 2 and 3, TSM game 1, but a lot of teams that we haven't seen too much of today. So Sub, MTB, 2 teams that have been eliminated a little bit earlier. It's good to see them. They can get further into this game, but then you look at other teams like FFD. This has been a team that has been able to make it into the top 4 consistently throughout the day. EV too, they've been looking really solid in the day.
100%, and Ice does have enough for a crown, so once that shop drops, he does have an opportunity to get that one. 2 nukes are dropped, forcing out Sub kind of down to the south side now. Nice is completely stuck here on the south side. Tries to get a little bit of damage onto Fuzu, but I don't think it's going to be enough as FFD just send, the whole kitchen sink at him. He's definitely going to be dead in that scenario.
Really want to make sure they take out at least one player. If they're going to commit so many of their nukes, they got rid of one. So might as well go for something. Oh, Minato almost accidentally crashed into the train there. I thought for a second he might have. But again, bullet train. So Minato going for a play that we saw earlier. It's going to be really tough getting back into the circle. So him and Niza will have to do so. Well, Mr. IC, as you called out, picked up that crown immediately upon shop. And now with Chilling Finale, Will the train show up in time? It won't. It's going to be the summon Napalm to take down EV, and then MTB playing aggressively, but not getting enough damage to take down Sub. Instead, it's going to be an Abyssal Breaker, locking them inside of the corridor. Nysa going to be the target while they got damage. The pole taking down Blink, then the train on the sand. So one is gone to the train, while Sub still alive, holding on to the tracks. But here come the nukes with a crown for Kaizaro, and then Blink pulled back by Little Meep, who's trying to revive at the last second. Couldn't get it, but a crown does go off for MTB.
Oh, everyone is back, and now Sub are looking super healthy, apart from Nysa in respect to armors. You know, 3 red perks in total for Sub as well. TSM looking to guard them out, but MTB are just on the left-hand side. They're trying in hook and a nuke, trying to force them, you know, into less and less space whenever possible. They're kind of temporarily out of that next circle where MTB kind of has first dibs on that island. They've made their way across with a dash. Quite aggressive, while Kaizaro tries maybe an optimistic hook on the north side. Doesn't get any connection, though.
Yeah, not gonna connect that one. And for our 4 remaining teams, all of them now back up to full. Nuke sent up north onto Sub, but Sub trying to avoid. It's going to be Blink with the Fusillade, pumping the damage onto Necro. So now only 2 for Sub. Now tries to defend, make sure the Minato get some damage with the double dash away onto the crown, but now they've lost Niles over to MTB. They all collapse. Make sure there's only gonna be one left for Sub. It's gonna be the one with the crown. FFD taking the advantage now to move up north and try to see if they can play onto MTB, while another pull attempted by TSM.
Yep, and just on the south side, we're looking at Minato. 1 minute 10 left. And he had maybe an aggressive dash forward towards FFD. He was probably safer in his current position on the bottom right-hand side. Blink trying to defensive dagger, trying to get a little bit of poke damage, but the hook just connects. Mantle dumped down. Oh, that's going to seal the deal. Blink is down. Hopefully TSM have enough for a crown or something along those lines. They've got about 9k. They can easily even buy a res.
No, they're nuking the res. They don't want any team to be able to get that. They don't want to have a surprise right behind them.
True.
And now it is going to be a mega avalanche to try to separate the fight. Well, there was the engage. FFD a little bit too greedy. Page strikes couldn't swap away. So now, what are you losing one? Then the train comes in out of nowhere to be able to pick up another kill in this game. Well, no. Oh, the revive did go through for Sub. Out in the storm, though. They've got to get back in. They're going to lose him immediately. Minato, he has resurrected the team, but they weren't able to get back into the circle. And still, just Minato. This time, crownless. FFD, they don't have one either, but Dracos has spotted Minato. Nice double dash away, while MTB and TSM hold the mainland over by the tracks to make sure these 2 stragglers, the one surviving. Another slam attempted by Dracos, but Minato was able to avoid it, sending out the salvo, getting some damage onto Dracos, but not nearly enough, even with the Gravity Squid. Couldn't connect onto Minato.
Yep, and Minato's going to be running out of options. There is a shop on the top left-hand side. How much money is that? 5k, so even he can buy crown on the next shop, but it's 45 seconds. It's a pretty long wait for that next circle, and especially with it being, you know, majority lava, we know that MTB are going to have control over that kind of solid ground, so it's only going to be this small amount that Minato can really play on. It's going to be very, very difficult for him to buy this one. Dracos also found dead by TSM in this scenario. That is FFD out 4th place.
Yeah, I think he was going for the hero respawn, hoping that he could save the team in time, but unfortunately just not enough time. And Minato, same thing. For Sub, couldn't get over onto land, had been kept at bay that whole time. Now it's just TSM and MTB fighting around the tracks, around lava. And it's going to be risky for any of these teams to engage. It's really got to be on a pull from either of these kingpins. Little Meep versus Kaizaro.
Yep, and the hook does come, the nuke comes in. MTB have found another bit of a kind of safe ground to play on just temporarily. And now they're going to potentially circle back. They've got kind of 3 islands to play on now. They're kind of okay in this scenario. And TSM are maybe just considering their options, maybe buying some E-plats, so they've got an extra bit of space to play on, or even buying the perks as well to kind of ensure that they can stay safe in the lava. That might be the case as well. That gives them an extra bit of playability that's potentially unconventional. The hook, Abyssal Breaker!
This is what we just talked about, that if you get caught out, it's going to be big, but he somehow gets back with the rest of the team. Divine intervention to keep him back at full. So, TSM, despite it seeming like they were caught out, Little Meep makes it out alive.
Yep, and only with the Illuna can you have that sort of rapid recovery to get back into the game. TSM are now on that small island. They're maybe even looking to get some shops in or something along those lines. Maybe trying some cheese here with it, maybe a squid or a hook or something along those lines. Oh, he gets the nade! Oh, he hits one at least. Very nice value.
Hitting the O2, that's a big target. That's huge value. Abyssal Breaker from San, but it doesn't actually get the knock. Now they're looking to see if they can take down Blink. Blink having barely any health, having no heat, but they still survive. Divine Intervention going to bring him back up in the fight as long as they're making sure they can stick it. Now with the Fusillade on each side, Blink, he has to wait it out. They're hopping over the lava, but he couldn't keep it. Luca had to get away. Low health. The train barely missing Wyan. He survives, and now it's just down to 2 of TSM. Luca and Little Meep up against MTB, and they're looking for the bunny. It's rabbit hunting season. Little Meep now Do you have enough for a crown? It does not look like it, so it doesn't look too hopeful here for TSM. MTB playing patiently. They waited that whole time, and now the 1v3 for them. Crown up in the north. Little Meek has grabbed it. He might be able to drag them out into the storm, get some kind of miracle onto them, but Kaizaro's gone over their heads, looking for the dunk, missing the pull, not getting him into the storm. It's his own storm he rot, and that's going to be MTB, 4th game victory.
Very, very nicely done by MTB. Very nice and calculated play as well, actually. And in basically every circumstance, you know, Kazara and San had very good synergy there in respect to kind of getting the hook and then the Abyssal Breaker consistently, as well as the stuns as well. You know, they played the patient game very nicely. The Squid right at the last second to hit Luca as well to confirm the kill with that mini root. You know, everything was very surgical right at the end by MTB. It's really, really nice to see.
Exactly. All right. I think I'm going to have to call the stream for me today, because I need to get to Pokemon Worlds. It is getting a little bit later than I was hoping. So I was hoping that we'd get more of the games done, but I need to be there by like 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
so
no
I
issue,
start
dude.
getting ready for that.
No worry,
I'm
man.
going to send over the host your way. Thank you
I
for
appreciate
joining
you,
me,
man.
Samiri, as always.
Thank you very much, dude.
Have a good rest of the stream. I hope the games are exciting, guys. I will catch you all. I don't know if it'll be this weekend, because I'll be at Pokemon Worlds pretty much most of it.
Yeah, maybe next week or something along those lines. There's not even any scrims
Yeah.
on Saturday anyway for EU, surprisingly.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, well, there's going to be the tournament next week, so for any players that haven't already, make sure sign up. It's going to be the Mage Hunter the Mage Hunter event. So it'll be another fun one. I'm trying to do it for all 3 for APAC, EU, and NA. So if we get enough teams, as long as we get 12 for each region, we can do all 3, which would be huge.
yep. Make sure you just get Spro to post the form into Super.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll do. All right. But thank you, Samiri. I will see you later, and good luck with the rest of the stream.
All right, safe travels, dude. Have a good one.
Peace.
Peace. All right, great stuff. Yeah, so that was of course Mad Magical. If you've not heard of him before, you've been living under a rock. That guy's an amazing caster. He's been doing casting for various games for a super long time. Super experienced, super knowledgeable about the game, and of course Mad Magical. Thanks for the raid, insane. We're just waiting for those next 2 bans to come in. The last 2 bans to get calculated. Hopefully it won't take too long, and then maybe it's already been posted. In fact, I do see 3 messages in here. Let's have a quick look. 29. Nope, that's the old ones. So just a bit longer to wait. Oh my god, the heat is unbearable today, man. I'm hoping everyone's doing okay. Make sure everyone is staying hydrated whenever possible. Oh my god, Scrim Talk here has 318 messages, man. I had a feeling that it was going to be a bit of a fiesta today. Oh my god. Holy. Hopefully not too long to wait. Alright, Yasser's back as well, so we're back as a full 36. Great, we did get a nice update there from Blink. I hope I've got enough space in my little overlay to kind of write in another 2 bands. I have to just put Wu instead of Wukong. Hopefully everyone can comprehend that one. think people are trying to call it with the KP Shiv. Probably correct. Script. Wait, what did Lucas say? I'm having a quick read through the combos. Oh my god. The crash out is funny. Holy. Okay, so it's KP and Shiv. There we go. For the last two bans, it's Kingpin and Shiv. Good stuff. Alrighty. So it's going to be game 5. Just oracles. Just 1 second and we should be good to go. The winds almost remind me of some sort of like cipher where you just change one letter and you somehow like there's probably some sort of like cipher that does that. Like you change like one letter of like a 3-letter code. It's like MS, TSM, MST, MST, MTB. There will be an ad real quick, and then hopefully, that will stop there being an ad in the game. So, BRB guys. Boom, there we go, game 5. Yeah, OC, man, it's just, I try and manage everything as best I can, but, there's always... Especially yesterday and today, it's just crazy, right?
My blades are
with that team just like not telling us what's going on.
Are the drop leader.
I don't know. And I think the bans also add maybe like 5 to 10 minutes here and there because they have to get calculated. I'm just trying my best to survive, man. All right, welcome back. Yeah, see, as I was saying before, I forgot that the ad was on, but yeah, it's just insane. It's this long, but it's because we got kind of messed around by that kind of new team, and then also bans take like 5 to 10 minutes as well, so. It definitely adds up. We're seeing Spro on the Ghost now as well. I've not seen him on Ghost too many times. Well, what about Aiden's teams? That's going to be 3OP. What are they picking? Oh, Aiden on the Oath. Oh my god. It's weird not seeing Oath being permabanned as well, since the changes. Let's have a quick look at the overarching roster from each team, see if there's any other interesting picks. Levi on the Illuna as well. Wody on Jin. Holy. Seen a couple of Oaths shining through now. 3 in fact. Nice stuff. We're seeing so much chaos. Already starting straight off the bat. 3OP have gone down to the south side. We're seeing a couple of sky shots being picked up by MST and FFD respectively. Sprokane bind to kill onto Cookies. So it's a very crazy early drop. Holy. Looks like 3OP have dominion over Academy this. They're going to have those early level 7s. We rarely see them drop there actually, so it's going to be quite interesting to see how they kind of continue to rotate around the map afterwards. And I think most teams are pretty much dropped. Tier 1 don't have too many mobs to really farm up after these last couple of camps are killed. Especially with Iron being taken already by TSM, so... F50 are also looking a little bit homeless, but hopefully they do find some camps to farm up. Shouldn't be too bad, I think, in this scenario. Meanwhile, back on race row, it looks like a VL and... Who's in this scenario? F50. They're just trying to farm up as much as possible. Looks like Cookies did high roll on armor as well. In Gridlock. See if anyone else gets lucky. Very, very nice dispersion. Clean dispersion in this game as well. Oh, wow, they got the day one too. Yeah, overhaste. Well, Merry Christmas to MST. They just got absolutely stacked off that. Aside from that, things are looking relatively smooth. Not much to provide commentary on at the minute. It's a very, very calm early game, actually. Never mind, looks like Luco actually gets a stun at the last second onto... who is in this scenario? It's Ford. And Ford actually gets a kill onto Blink, surprisingly. Uh-oh. This could spell danger as Meep tries to go into the wind tunnels if possible. Ford gets a dash in. Meep tries to return some LMBs. Dash down to the south side. Okay, it looks like they were listening in on the commentary and, you know, provided me with some action. Ulti's now popped the last second by Ford to try and give him an extra bit of survivability, but now Meep has his own ult now. Box rush is attempted. Maybe Meep tries to potentially prevent that one. Gets the RMB plus LMBs. Massive flurry of damage, and Monster's now trying to, you know, hold his own against Meep for as long as possible, but yeah, actually winning overall. It's like almost like a 1v2 scenario that he has stabilized himself from. On the just on the north side on Dawn Caps, we're also looking at is it Shy in this scenario? I think it is. Yeah, it's Shy. And EV, but they've taken the cars. No, they've actually circled back. In fact, Yasa looking to back. Relic buys are now coming in. Arkham Rogan does temporarily grief ice, but they have got the relic purchases, and it's a big advantage that they actually have over Shy. But, they've actually forced them out, surprisingly, and now that does provide Shy the opportunity to get their relic buys in. They've lost their kind of advantage, which is quite surprising. But maybe it's a comp issue or ego issue. Who knows? Looks like Tier 1 have the bush camping strats temporarily. Pordaz has now been found by Phantom. Gets a nice couple of hits in, and the ulti's already popped with the Abyssal Breaker onto Wody. Doesn't get too much value, and NTU, Numa has already popped his Fury. Doesn't get too much value as well. Just above them, looking at MTB, they're slowly making their way down. Nice little stun there with the bird. Yeah. NTU rapidly just resetting themselves at just bottom left. We're looking at 7 AM. They already had their relic buys in, and NTU have not purchased. They might have a tunnel vision this one. This might spell their doom, in fact. They do have level 7s, but you know, they're being collapsed on very rapidly. This could spell real bad danger. Hopefully they make it out of this one. I'm not really sure if that's going to be the case. Oh. Okay, they're trying to get some ghost mobs whenever possible. Hopefully Squadable does ulti. Just popped it, in fact. The Abyssal Breaker also popped. Ulti nicely blocked there by Phantom. And Squadable still tries to send it in, trying to provide a little bit of a distraction. And that 7 AM might be easy pickings for these teams. Oh, one spike already, in fact. NTU are now just 2 members. And just below that looks like TSM. They're trying to apply pressure again now onto Tier 1. Absolute clown fiesta. So many teams there. Silkswang already found dead. Porters is dead afterwards. Wody now last alive. Already dead as well. Shortly afterwards. That is one team finally out. Tier 1 out last place. Kazaro gets a nice little ulti onto Blink. A little bit of damage, and more successful damage by the other members of MTV. TSM are now 2 members. 1 relic each for TSM. And now Nice is doing a decent amount of damage here. Oh, he's got a mega amount of damage in fact with the Ignite procs onto Monster. Necros also down. Minato now trying to send a flurry of damage towards Ford's way. And then B, oh, disconnect. They've leveled the playing fields very, very fast here. Nice has to now fight for his life, sending those LMBs in. He's winning that 1v1 amazingly fast against Riffro, but now full gearing is now sending in with the flurry of his own LMBs. Norris had to ult out there at the last second, trying to get as much Ignite procs as possible. The ulti's also popped by Ford to try and separate Nice temporarily, and now they've rotated back onto his, their eyes have reappeared onto him. LMB throws are being sent by Swiftro. That is going to seal the deal with Sub are outed 11th place. Potentially some action on the hot, but we're going to have a quick flick over as Hachi and Shroom. Relatively equal exchange, but Shrew actually won that one overall, but Hachi's actually fully healed pretty much Armors are looking quite dire for him, but just to the top right-hand side, we're looking at, you know, a potential collapse in. Hatchie's just back at the last second. Oh, nice stun as well. Oh, no, sorry, it wasn't Hatchie, it was Shroom, in fact. And Aiden's just rapidly getting some heals at the last second, along with some food. Armor's situation's looking dire on all fronts. Aiden is trying to send as many LMBs there with the hammer as possible. Now we're looking at Hatchie flanking from the left-hand side. Maybe has ulti, going to send it in. Nice dash there by Shroom to kind of avoid it. Very nice prediction, a nice little spike there to stop Hatchie in his tracks temporarily. And now Hatchie's looking to get a nice punch. Narrowly misses it. Shroom on very, very low HP. The reinforcements are coming in. Flurry is broken, now dead. It is just 2 members left for Shy. And Hoodis actually misses the ult narrowly. Shroom just needs to hit one auto onto Hatchie to seal the deal. Does he make it away? No, unfortunately, he does not. Who is it last? It is a Yasa now last alive. Tries to send in a rain of arrows. Not going to be too successful in with that one. And it is Shy outed. 10th place. Wow. What a super unfortunate game for those guys. And I think I got the spectator bug. Nice. Oh man, this is a game 5, Nios. I've not had the spectator bug where it bugs halfway through the game. I had it once before at the start of the game, but now basically I can only spectate people if I'm in their POV. Like if my camera is in their POV, I could see them. Look on the minimap. I can't see anyone anymore. Feels good, man. Don't you just love it? I'm going to try and flick over to the not the anomalies, the bosses, and see what's going on there. Oh, I do see about 3 or 4 teams around these double souls. Let's see what's going to happen there. I also noticed because my frame rate went really smooth, I was thinking, okay, something's gone wrong here. And then I looked on the minimap and then I can't see anyone anymore. You see VL just below FFD. They've popped one chonker on the bottom left-hand side, kind of trying to navigate it towards the meteor beast. It is now in phase 2. And just to the left of that, we do see auto repair as well. Phase Strike says trying to start that one up. If they get the double soul steal, that is absolutely crazy. I'm going to try and quickly flick over onto the north side. 7 AM are chilling on the top side. TSM also kind of trying to navigate around these bushes. It is 4 bans, yep. So it's 2 bans after game 2, and then 2 more bans after game 4. That's how it's going to be in Spread Kids tournament, so we're kind of trying to follow that format. I didn't actually know it was going to be 4 bans, which is why I did only 3 bans yesterday. Yeah, exactly, GPA. Yeah, that's my bad. I didn't know it was going to be like this, but I'll try and update that in the future. So FFD are now trying to get that next soul as well, if they can grab it. No, actually, FFD did not get the first soul, in fact. They got yoinked on the south side. It is now 75%. Ice has found Numa. Spider Ball's found Ice. 1-for-1 exchange pretty much. The car's been blown up as well. TP up onto the top side. Uh-oh. It's going to spell danger temporarily. Oof. The laser does hit. It's going to be a double boss damage. Abyss Breaker pop by Aiden. So much damage. Swiftbro gets a nice little dunk onto Aiden at the last second. Squid hit by as well with the Singularity pop. Gets 1 stun. And so much damage just sent Swiffer's way. Oh my god. So nice. Monster now last alive, trying looking for a little cheeky res. But unfortunately, he's dashed down into FFD. And now 3LP are going to, look for more easy pickings. Ulti with a Chinknali. TP play as well. Gets 1 stun at the last second onto a Shroom. Nice punch away by Hoodis. But that might provide Face Strikes with enough, distance to actually have, live this one. Fuzu is now on his last legs pretty much as Hoodis continues to send those LMBs his way. Fuzu is now down. We do see a res attempt as well, being performed by Spider Ball. It's likely to be successful unless Face Strikes has something to say about it with a TP play. Okay. Dunk! Oh! Just narrowly misses it, and Face Strikes has lost his armor now.
An enemy oracle is scanning.
Alright, please tell me I can get rid of this bug at least. Okay, there we go. Thank god. Oh, do you see VL? Okay, so those are the guys with the stealth. Oh, Abyss Breaker sent on Spider Brawl. It was a narrow escape where I think he had to kind of recount his steps there, make sure he's safe. Oh, we just get dunk right at the end. Very nice, clean play there by Spider Brawl. It's almost like he's like being an Uber Eats driver for a dunk. If a dunk was a burger, he just delivered that right there. Nuke is now dropped right in the center of this train track against between 3LP and TSM. Just south of that, we're looking at NTU. They've kind of fully reunited now. We've seen Blinkstone on Blink. How ironic. An auto repair was never taken, it looks like, as well. Day 4 mob reset, so everyone's trying to grab those up whenever possible. Looks like Aiden did try to send an Abyssal Breaker as well. Not too much value acquired.
Storm tightening.
Just trying to flick around, see if anything else is going on the map. Looking at Kazaro. Is he last member? He is last member for MTB. There is a rest potentially on Underart. Let's quickly see if there is a team over there. No teams on the Bond, just above it. We do see all members of MST though. Cookie's on the Bishop. We know that he's been practicing it like a while before he jumped on the Tetra. So definitely got a super wide roster of heroes he can play now. I remember, back in the days, he used to be only on Ghost. And of course, he's expanded his roster over at least 1.0 period for sure. He's picked up a lot of characters. Cookies also finds 2 members of VL. Let me try and flick over down to the south side. It's going to be a predictive play here if I can find it. If I hear those audio cues, never mind. I find it too late, but it looks like MST have found a couple of perks as well from the 2 members of VL. It's just sub or left on that Shrike. MTB have managed to get a res as well. They're back as 3 members. Cookies looking to get some poke in. MST's Armors is looking super healthy versus MTB's. Subway's now making his way across, and I think he's just found that there's so much action going on. Cookies gets a nice punch with the stun onto Kazaro, fully downed. And the heal as well, supplementary. Wayan is now on his last legs, gets the face steel chain, dashes north side. Squid narrowly misses, gets a little bit of heal in the abyss, and at the last second, Wayan is still dead. Sinnoh is now looking to the left side. Train tracks. Doesn't get the stun, unfortunately. Fuzu just send in his ulti, a full flurry of it. And the ulti's now been sent in the car as well. And Sinnoh is dead. Okay. Full dead, in fact. The car is maybe going to blow him away too. TP away to kill the Wisp or confirm it. He's still on solid ground temporarily for a bit longer. And actually, they do get a spike right at the last moment. Fuzu now on super low HP. Same with Dracos. Both half HP them each. And Orb is up for grabs as well. Maybe they'd look to turn around unless they get the res off for free, which might be the case. But Blink might send a Blink Abyss Breaker in. Is he going to do it? No, actually doesn't E-Plat instead. Now does the Abyss Breaker onto Cookies with the RMB, the Shield Bash. Cookies on super low HP. Just get a last little, slither of healing from Sinnoh as he was healing up himself. Kuba is there for the last bit of a defensive measure, trying to guard all other members of MST while they kind of heal up rapidly, get the armor repairs in as well. Looks like Shroom has also found Phantom as well at the same time. Wayne also finds Aiden, so it's kind of a relatively fair exchange if I can find out where that fight is transpiring somewhere on this map. There we go, on the top side I do have found it, and the last member of BL, that Shrike, is dead. BL are outed, 7th place. And just to the right of that, MTB have been circling around. They've been trying to get a bit of farm whenever possible, and it looks like they have done that successfully. They don't have red key, unfortunately, it looks like as well. MTB looking to make the way down, and Wayne is back in the game as well. Looks like Orb of Life has been taken, probably by Cookie's team. Meep also finds Fate Strike, so then there's maybe a fight over it. I'm not really sure who's winning that one overall. And Aiden just get a nice little bit of damage. 2 Abyss Breakers used by both Phantom and Aiden. Not too much damage acquired though. A nice little dunk attempt by Spider-Bro. Has to ult out so he doesn't get dunked himself. And now all the damage is going to be sent towards Sans way. He's getting sandwiched as well by Aiden. Seals the deal. Phantom is going to get that last kill. Abyss Breaker sent again. Spider-Bro on 1 HP. Numa on 1 HP as well. Ulti popped. Narrowly misses. Cookies gets a nice little punch. Numa has Orb of Life apparently. So maybe... No, it's not Orb of Life. Never mind. It might have been a Oath heal right at the last second. Shroom has to, kind of jump up to the north side. Cookies narrowly gets glitched on his ulti by that pipe at the last second. Spider-Bro is being sent, so much damage his way by both Shroom and Hudis. Finds the kill right at the end. Looks like 3LP have fully warmed up. They also have red key in their possession. Going to get another red perk likely or something along those lines. Let's see what they actually end up picking up. Nukuba's forced Phantom way to the right side. Trying to get last second heal up. And is he going to make it out of this one? So no, does not get spiked. Okay, looks like he's learned his lesson at least for this scrim block. But he'll probably forget it by the next one. I have no idea, GPA. I think there's quite a couple of sub teams. But I don't think MTB is a sub team, are they? Wait. I don't know. I think people are just swapping roster, because I guess some people are fed up with the game. So, if one person out of 3 is fed up with the game, then you need to find a new player and things like that. We can look to put banning it if you want me to put a pot up Spider Raw at some point. Okay, I'll look to putting that forward. I know it's definitely not in the ban list. Yeah, exactly, GPA. Yeah, there's a bunch of yeah, Francis, I've got a crazy bug right now. I cannot see on the minimap all the teams, right? There's 4 teams. I cannot see where the crown is. But on Spectator I'm supposed to be able to see it. Like, it's been bugged since halfway through this game. I'm pretty sure it worked, but then halfway through it just broke. GG's, I guess. Blink just... Oh, he gets spiked! Never mind, Blink! Oh my god. I mean, the thing is, Spider Brawl, everyone knows about this bug, right? So it's just up to who abuses it. Like, it's been in the game since day one, right? But no one complained enough that it should be banned. So... I mean, I'm not saying it shouldn't be. I'm just saying, like, no one has, like, had such a strong opinion about it either way. We do see Aiden with Rewind as well. Super nice. MST looking super Omega strong on armors. They actually pop a nice little chonker there at the last second. And I swear, Kazora's auto attack did not hit that chonker at all. Didn't do any damage to it. Very weird. Oh, nice little chain stun potentially. Abyss of Breaker also popped. MST lost a lot of health. One went down into the into the zone. Lost so much HP from the endgame zone. Ulti popped at the last second for Kuba to get some emergency heals. And that Robber Raccoon is going to get mega value potentially. Who's going to go to TSM potentially right at the last second? And, looks like everyone has stabilized themselves for now.
An enemy oracle is scanning.
Maybe it's fixed itself. I'm not. Oh no, maybe I can just see everyone from the camera POV. So Link is still dead at the moment. There is a crown in the center, and do they have enough money? They've got 9k in totals. They could even buy a res if they get to a shop, but it's going to be quite difficult in respect to how the teams are guarding this one. I mean, they could buy it there actually, and then but placing it is another story, I guess. Maybe they could slither past 3OP while they have their own little respective fight against MTB. Who knows? We're going to see as the fight continues to evolve. 3OP are pushing out MTB with so much pressure. One spike already. Kazaro already on super low HP. It's just San now. The turnaround, the 360 by Shroom. That your speed just means nothing to him. MTB are outed 4th place. They do get the resin to blink at the last second. He now has no blink himself. Abyss of Breaker popped, but the wall blocks up quite a lot of it, and that does provide Kuba with ample space to get these LMBs in whenever possible. Blink turned to a snowman, punched down to the bottom left-hand side, now on the south side fully, while Sinnoh tries to get the kill. Kubo in fact seals the deal. TSM are looking for an instant res on the right side. Before that zone closes in, 3OP and MST with their own little mini-fight. LMBs are being exchanged in flurries. Aiden ideally needs to get some armor repairs in when possible, which he's going to do right now. Nice. All teams are looking pretty healthy.
Storm tightening.
Oh, nice little chunk away by Aiden. We know that he's ever practiced with the Oath, and the LMBs are being sent. The E-plat's already been placed by MST. They do jump forward straight after that nuke's been placed. Nice little stun from Luca at the last second. Gets a one-man, but the nuke is actually going to provide them with space in this scenario. But they're going to get sandwiched if they're not too careful by MST on the south side, while TSM rotate earlier on the north side. Nice punch away. Hopefully no one gets spiked here. Meep does has to dash back onto the right side, but potentially onto Luca, and they follow it up very, very aggressively. Shroom there. Does he get the ulti? No, narrowly misses it, and he gets a little stun. Nice little reinforcement heal by Aiden, who just finds Meep as well. He's rapidly getting rest up, or trying to, by Blink, and he is not going to get it, unfortunately. And Blink is still going to survive this one. He's going to circle around if possible. Oh, TSM. Fully outed, 3rd place. Now, Hoodis sending with the ulti. Oh my god, the chain stun combo. Very, very nicely performed by Hoodis and Aiden. Stun at the last second. I don't know how much value it's going to acquire. It's going to provide a bit of breathing room. Shroom now gets a nice little ulti into Cookies. 1 HP. Gets a nice little heal at the last second. So he's going to survive just a bit longer. E-Ply has also dropped Hoodis on super low HP. But hopefully Shroom can provide the reinforcements. And now Aiden is now looking for something. Squid doesn't get too much value. Hoodis is sending it. Oh, he gets a nice punch and a spike actually onto Cookies. And the NMBs are going to be sent Sinnoh's way. It is just Kuba now last alive for MST. Gets another nice punch with a stun. Oh my god, the synergy with 3OP. Very, very nice. It's 3OP taking game number 5.
Warning. Storm closing.
Yo, the bug is the when you have the perk that gives you the non-consumable potions. I can't remember what it's called. And then basically you use like a spike wall and you spam it, and then you spam it without even placing it, and you get all the non-consumable buffs. Yeah, Johnny Elixirs. I think that that's fine. Like, it's been in the game for like 3 or 4 weeks. People found it on the first couple of days. It's not that expensive to buy. Pretty much everyone has access to it. I get that it's OP, but like no one really put a strong belief forward that it should be banned, you know. But if I will put a poll in if it's because like that to me, literally, I swear, on the first or second day that was found. Whereas the other bugs were found like a bit later on, you know? And we played Scrims without it banned the whole time, and barely anyone complained. I'm not saying it's not like annoying or cringe. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it just wasn't banned. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can see your point, GPA. Like, you wouldn't buy it otherwise. But sometimes you can find it randomly from a vault, for example, right? Alright, Numerous back. Last game. Cross country. Let's get it in. Oh, fuck the caps. Whatever.
Select your hunter.
Let's light this match.
Yeah, I think the way it should have been is you have to at least place the item, like Chips is saying, like the ward is one of them. Yeah, I agree, Chips. It's almost like they just saw it like purely from a programmatic response, like, oh, we have this thing that can apply a buff. Let's just give it like a omega easy trigger. Like, at least make the trigger like hard to do, or it requires some sort of investment. I mean, you can say you invest in it by buying the perk, but it's a very fucking low barrier to entry, right? Because it used to just be able to buy the pots, but the pots used to cost money. So it's like, I don't know why they got rid of it. And then gave it such a weird trigger. Like, those are the bits that are questionable design, 100%. Yeah, exactly. I'll put it fourth though, because I know I've heard like now and again some people have been frustrated by it. So. Alrighty, game 6. What's the fucking item called? The perk called again? Gen Elixirs, okay. I'll try and make that poll just after this last game. Alrighty, so game 6, of course, is going to be a cross-country. 2 teams potentially already going down towards Enshrine. Nice is in potentially a big trouble if he doesn't have dash. He gets the Omega lucky heal at the last second to stabilize him. That is something. Holy. We did see Blink up for grabs, so that's what they were eyeing up. FFD already applying a decent amount of damage towards that Abyss Hatchling. And looks like they've been forced away, unless Minot has something to say about this. I think he was trying to gauge if he could maybe get a steal in, but that's not going to be possible. On the top right hand side, we're looking at NTU and 7am. Numa on triple HP level 2 though. Oh, it might be toast as the LMB flurry is sent his way. Numa is down. Phantom is considering his options. He's picked up an armor, but probably needs to jump ship before he loses both the armor and himself. And it looks like he's done that one successfully right at the end. And aside from that, it's just the standard 3LP play. Cold Fang, Mega Abyss, MST in a CAD this time. Very slow, peaceful game actually. Apart from those 2 super early fights, no one really. I mean, there was one death, but it was like, you know, it's nothing. Numa's going to be back in no time. He's already back. There we go.
Laying down fire.
Look on the bottom side. It looks like Udis trying to get the gold Abyss hatchling right at the end. But FFD, they picked up a blink as well. So, you know, there could be a blink stun. Oh, he just try it and just narrowly miss. Udis, you know, tries to return a bit of pressure. But Dracos is now returning, you know, returning zone LMBs towards Udis. Does get a spike right at the end. Oh, no. Is that something you don't want to be doing when you're split bombing like that, for sure? Lose a lot of tempo. Right, nice little 6% bomb by Danch right at the end.
Tightening. Enemy Oracle online.
Car picked up again by Danch, but Goshachek does a nice little dash shield bash, forcing away Danch temporarily. The car does blow up. They actually get a spike as well. Nice. It's always going to be super gate kept here by VL. They do completely gatekeeping. It is Minato now last life for sub. Very awkward fight that the VL managed to capitalize on really cleanly. And aside from that, things are looking super calm again. Looking at Hoverwinger for Fate Strikes. Anything else? We can look at some nice armor pickups. It looks like Spider-Bro also got an armor pickup too. Ooh, this might spell the end for Minato. I think he's been found now by Goshachek. Doesn't have any relics, but Subel's now there. Oh, actually misses the LMB. I'm surprised he did the flick prediction down to the left side. Which other way would Minato go? It's a bit of a questionable flick, but either way, looks like Minato's made his way temporarily out.
An enemy Oracle is scanning.
Tries a little cheeky back. Has actually made it out just in time. Almost reminds me of the Matrix phone scene. Just managing to get away before the car like crushes. Ole. If you know, you know. So look at EV. They might be getting sandwiched here by MTB just below them as well. MST. Just depending on which kind of order they want to take this in. Okay, they've got the Vault hack right at the end. But they can't even get the goodies. But now MST are looking to sandwich this. Same with MST. EV are looking in dire straits here. Ward is placed at the last second by Ice. Just force Scorpius down to the south side. Ulti is popped. Does actually get the connection onto Ice and take him out. 2 members left. 1 spike. It is just Levi now last alive. Is he going to be toast or not is the question. He is dead by the hands of San. So another spike as well.
Enemy
Oof.
Oracle online.
So Synod is dead for MST. And Cookies gets a nice little cheeky air blast at the last second, which may provide him with a bit of survivability. Gets a nice little punch away, but the boop and auto does seal the deal. It is just Cooper now last alive. And the nearest res is potentially like Prisma or back on the north side if they rotate back. But it is going to be a risky one. Or he's going to do one in zone, potentially in Hallows. Yep, I think that's going to be the case. Meanwhile, on the south side, looking at sub. Hachi chilling in bush, level 7s. They've not checked this bush. They checked every other one, but not that one. Break-ins there, they found them. And the Hatch is there with Yasser as well as reinforcements. The Fury's popped. Dash doesn't get much ulti value. Minato on 1 HP. Now there with the reinforcements. Can he like kind of beat it? The Guardian Angel for Minato. The lasers, he's fine for now. The autos, he's juking him. He's healing up whenever possible. The punch just connecting to the lasers. 2 members of sub are down. It's just Danch now, last alive. Just a nice little last second heal. Bizeep is sent towards Shy's way. Nice LMB knockaway, but it only gets knocked away 1. Oh, and a spike right at the last second. That is sub outed, 11th place, and just to the top left. We're seeing, I think, the res was successful potentially. Vortex charm by Monster onto Hudis, but Dropo looking to collapse in this one. The squid narrowly misses. It's actually a squid GA, maybe, is for the play for Oath. Might be the angle. I'm going to flick back. It looks like that fight is a relatively stalemate, but on this side, it looks like Cookies just finds Zugzwang. And Kuba's trying to get Sinnoh back up if possible, while MTB are looking for a potentially clean third party. They don't get too much value apart from splitting up Puer Dives. And now he's on his own potentially, while Wayne gets that movement in, does take down Puer Dives. And who is it last alive now? The Wody. Going down to the south side. Now being met by Shy. R&B knockaway. Narrowly misses by Yasa. Sprokane looking to send it with the LMB flurry onto Wady. Nice R&B knockaway at the last second. He's now trying to fend off against all 3 members. Gets spiked right at the last moment. TL1 are outed. 10th place. And it looks like that fight might have, warmed up even more between 3LP and 7 AM. LMB just continues to being sent by Ford. Shriffer getting so much LMB value. It kind of in this box zone. Shroom is dead. And who this? Aiden has to jump ship now. And Reses are looking quite dire in this scenario. There is one kind of north Prisma. There's one on the south side which you might have to head towards. But he doesn't really know, obviously, where any teams are. Actually goes for a crown play instead. And he might be walking into VL's territory. We're also looking at Corrosion for the Soul and Auto Repair. It looks like on the right side. Shy been temporarily knocked away. Yahashi going in for a punch. Gets a 2-man punch with the 2-man stun as well. But the train kind of temporarily griefs them. The ulti's now been popped by Sprokane. And Hachi gets a nice in with the car again onto MTB. That was actually mega value. And let's see if Shy can continue to capitalize on this one. They got the car waiting. Where he gets a nice little dunk. And then B follow up onto Spro. And Hachi's now there with a punch looking for something. Gets a nice little punch chain stun. So much damage onto Oath, especially with the rain of arrows. Sam was just completely chained out there. So much subsequent damage. Hachi misses a punch this time though. And MTB now split ways, probably go down to the south side. Kazaro trying to do as much as possible. Trying to get some cheeky kills. Wayan is now dead. Same with Kazaro. That is MTB out. 9th place. Just to the south side as well. We're looking at a potential another fight brewing here between 3LP this time and FFD. Massive Abyssal Break onto Vase Strikes. Pops a Singularity. Looks like he gets to suck in onto who it is. He is dead now. Dracos is now there. Also trying to provide an extra bit of a poke to force out 3LP completely. And now they have to look for a res. It's going to be quite difficult for them to survive this one. Need to see how that one continues to evolve as we look at Monster now. Gosha check with the dash shield bash combo. The ulti hits by Neko-chan as well. Monster does make it out of that one. Soul, I will do the poll for like 48 hours because there's no scrims tomorrow anyway. So the ban or not will come into effect on Sunday. Let's have a look elsewhere as well. See if any fights are brewing. Looks like it's fine. Looking at Shy as well with stasis this time. Yeah, on Yasa. Res attempt by Monster. Looks like it's successful. Soul pickup for free by MST, I'm pretty sure, if they rotate around to the left side. Yep, absolutely free. That's the problem I find, right? Like, I swear, pre 1.0, the macro for fighting over souls was like mega, like, not like fucking 500 IQ, but there was like thought put into it. Now it just feels like one team just gets one soul for free. I swear, every single game this happens, even in top tier lobbies. Like, I don't know how the gameplay of that devolved so much. Who this finds Sprokane as well on the top side. Looks like Shy have to jump ship. They're not going to be able to fight for that soul anymore. And Aiden unfortunately misses the squid, so Hachi's going to be able to get away for free. Rain of Virus is also dropped. Back onto VL. Looks like an Abyssal Breaker is popped. Subble with the ulti, unfortunately misses. Abyss is, what's it called? Anomaly is taken by Gosha check. That does leave Subble completely vulnerable. Nice dash shield bash, but Sinnoh actually gets a spike surprisingly. And now it is Neko-chan last alive for VL. Ulti! Oh! Sinnoh is dead, but Ford does take down the last member of VL. They are outed, 8th place. Looks like 3LP also got the soul for free. And they've also picked up a Dreadstar, which is super tasty. On the south side, let's have a quick flick over and see how NTU are doing versus FFD. Is day 4 mob reset, so everyone's trying to grab those whenever possible.
Warning, storm closing.
I mean, yeah, we see a variety of different teams. You know, everyone just has their own playstyle, right? You can call it cowardly, right? It's you know, it is what it is. Everyone has their own strategies of getting kills, or I don't think anything is going to be as bad as TTV back in the days. The way that these guys played early game and mid game was really frustrating. But it looks like this fight is fully evolved now. Hatchet on super low HP. One auto will seal the deal. There we go. It is just 2 members now left. It looks like an E-plat has already been dropped as well. Yasser now trying to fight for his life. A second E-plat has been dropped now by Aiden. Yeah, I can get behind that. Oh, it's just Yasser now last life. He's on in combustion state. Hopefully Luca is going for another dash maybe. Oh, and seal the deal. He needs to be fast if he wants to stop this, but Yasser is going to be able to get this res off in the abyss for free. Yeah, I can agree with that, Yui. I can agree with that. Especially when they were playing Saros, of course, right? Like, I don't think they've been doing it, but it's not been as bad as it was during their kind of Saros meta. It was really bad then. Not bad, but like it was very apparent then. I don't know, because they had success with it. I think I'm just saying it as a player, right? Like I would find it fucking annoying to play against it. Cookies is already down for MST though. 2 members left. Nice punch away by Hatchet at the last second. You know, straight back into the fight then. And Yasser, oh my god, he gets a triple fury. Arcane Rogan does seal the deal on Monster. So they may be able to get this res off. Rain of Arrows comes out, so that's going to have to force them down to the south side of the E-plat. Hatchet gets a nice ulti punch in as well. That's forced 7am to split paths. Stripper on 1 HP does get downed as well. Is 1 member now left for 7am. Yeah, now into the hands of MST. RMB just get the sealed the deal for 7am. They are outed 7th place. Simple is obviously going to be crazy. No crowns available either. Who's on the south side? MST and FFD. These guys have been eyeing each other up for so long. Looks like they're finally going to split ways, but they probably need to, you know, play smart for that circle. Looks like Cooper's now in a very, very bad position. Shy forced the hand and did it pretty well. I think Sonobu's like trying to window shop there, maybe trying to see if he could help if possible, but that is going to seal the deal. Cooper's already down, and now Sinai, you know, might also be dead here. Bit of more than he could chew. Probably did not need to dash to the, you know, fly to the left-hand side there. For the supportive means. Hopefully he's got another dash or something along those lines, but 3 up here just waiting there kindly. And now he's stuck between a rock and a hard place for Spurricane. The E-plat is now dropped at the last second. Arcane Rogo just narrowly misses. And now he's finding enough space just to get into zone. Hopefully he can heal up in time. I don't think that's going to be a case. In fact, he's dead. That is MST outed. 6th place in this scenario. Oh my god. And Aiden finds Spurricane as well. And I think one other member, in this case Hachi. So it is... who's in this case? Yasser on the south side, playing on those wind rings, trying to last for as long as possible. Dashes through the wall. And does he have enough money for a res? He has enough money for another res. Actually goes for the organic crown. Stun narrowly misses as well. And Fuzu gets a nice little skill on him. He pops the ulti as well. 1 HP. That is Shy. Unfortunately outed. How many kills do I have? 13 kills. 5th place. Not too bad. Looking at Numa finding Hoodis as well on the top side. Phantom looking for an extra bit of spice as well. They managed to stop the res completely, but Shroom actually remembered to get it as they've knocked the wisp away. They get 1 spike surprisingly from the Sunweaver, I think it may have been. Or not, no, it wasn't the Sunweaver, I'm not sure. Maybe an auto from Shroom, a small mini one. Did seal the deal there. Aiden's back there, pops the Abyssal Breaker. And a nice little shield bash forces Aiden away temporarily. While meanwhile FFD and I looking, you know, kind of jumping up onto the northland side. Nice Vortex Charm does catch 2, and with the displacement charge as well. That's, you know, definitely, you know, slowed down FFD in a very, very strong way. Oh, Aiden, he nearly sent himself in, but you know, he's quite measured with his movement there. Got stopped as well. Aiden Hudis gets a nice little punch onto Dracos. The Chilling Phenonis pop with a TP play. Oh, 2-man stun, but how much value can they acquire on top of that? Hudis gets a nice ulti punch, absolutely decimating Fate Strikes. 2 members left for FFD now. Let's see how this one evolves. Fuzu now on his last legs, while Dracos has made his way into the south side. Vortex Charm disconnect the ulti as well. That is Fuzu dead. Dracos now trying to play it on his shift level 4. Making a tiny bit of ice whenever possible. Looking at a crown pickup. No, an organic res by Numa potentially, unless they've already used this res. I think they're just waiting to just see if anyone's going to jump on top of them. On the south, so looking at Dracos. 5k. He can maybe do something, hopefully, with that one. Luca's going to be okay temporarily, but for how much longer is the question. Oh, gets a squid down to the south side. Dashes to the left side. Very, very nice evasive maneuvers from Luca there. Welcome back, everyone. TSM are in a bit of a predicament. They've had to drop an E-plat, and Blink might be in trouble. It depends if an Abyssal Breaker's popped to kind of chain CC Blink out of this one. Again, it's Blink with the Blink. Who this? Sending it in with double E-plats are used as well. Avalanche is also used in return to trying to kind of, you know, maybe use up Aiden's shield there a little bit. On the top side, looks like a crown. Oh no, never mind, they got the res off. organically, I'm pretty sure. Just a bit of a mini-map bug. And Zone is pulling again to the south side, so if you've used all your E-Plights, it might be a time to buy a couple more at least. Again, Dracos chilling on the right side, completely out of vision of everyone else. It looks like the fights have calmed down. I think everyone wants to be really cautious about how they want to fight around this one with so many teams left. Especially as the zone is going to be relatively concentrated with players. Looks like Dracos has managed to circle around and do a full 360. Maybe get off an organic res, if possible. But I think NTU may be able to see him now, or maybe they see the audio cues. Oh, and the zone is now starting to pull in. I think Spider-Ball is gatekeeping it now. Dracos is not going to be able to get this res off anymore. They're definitely seeing him now. That's going to spell big danger. There are a couple of win rings, though, that's going to provide him with an extra bit of mobility to kind of make his way through this. He's going to have to play extra cautiously, weaving through these teams. He may even cause enough chaos for another two teams to fight here, but he looks like he's made his way through both teams, NTU and TSM in this instance. Everyone is biding their time very, very patiently. But how much longer? It looks like Blink. Abyssal Breakers have been popped in both directions, I'm pretty sure. And the Splitting Charge doesn't get too much value. 3LP looking super healthy in armors. Only Meep really with armors. And Aiden's circle around onto Meep. LMBs are being sent his way. He's now to dash down to the south side along with Blink. Aiden sends it with a dash down to the south side himself. Punch misses by Hoodis, but the squid does connect onto Blink. Luke is now behind, gets the squid, and TSM are fully reunited, but FFD are patiently waiting for them on the other side. This is going to be very, very hard for them to make their way through. Ice kindly donated by Dracos there, just providing with an extra bit of survivability. They're playing on the rails, but for how much longer can they survive? The ulti is sent in by Fuzu to get an extra bit of cheese damage. They're all healing this one up rapidly. And they've also dropped in a red Little Cook as well for an extra bit of survivability. And now 3LP looking to apply pressure onto NTU. Nima trying to survive as long as possible. It's going to be okay. Makes his way into the mini island, but outside of zone. Luke has also dropped to force them down to the south side. There's already been spike walls placed. And TSM have now found themselves in the fort to get some armor repairs in the outpost. Yes, annoyed, I can imagine. Well, the game seems in a bit of a healthier state. But of course, we do see the Oaths coming back into action again in pretty much full force. Once the bans have come in, Abyssal Breakers have popped in every direction, and actually a surprising spike there onto Blink. And of course now Spider-Ball is in possession of that Blink. One minute left for Fuzu. Oh, he's been knocked away. Can't get any value from that chilling finale. The squid connects onto Fuzu temporarily. Vortex Charm only connects onto Dracos. And it looks like Prudis is trying to seal the deal onto Fuzu. He pops his own E-Play. Gets the spike! FFD members all back in the game. And you know that Aiden is screaming in the mic like, who this? More like, why did you do this? He died. Unfortunately, there is a nice armor pickup for Dracos right at the end. We're seeing the walls being put out in full force. Okay, Railgun. The res is being dropped as well. Abyssal Breakers on both sides. Oh, the shield's been broken. That's going to provide Shroom with very little defensive measure left now. He's probably got a Dreadstar, maybe off cooldown. They found themselves a small island. We're looking at the zone ports going towards the top left. TSM have first dibs on that one for these last remaining 4 teams. It looks like on the top side, Crown's picked up as well, and FFD is just chilling there. They're pretty happy with themselves after Fuzu getting that nice little spike, trying to make themselves over that mountain. They're going to be met by FFD. Oh, nice Abyssal Breaker combo. Can they see what they do? Who's going to get that last hit? No way, Aiden does die. Shroom, please tell me he didn't have Dreadstar or not. He had Dreadstar. Bro, why didn't you Dreadstar? He would have got the kill. Oh, that's pain. Unless it was on cooldown. There's no way. I feel like he just forgot about it. Oh, that's illegal. Ah. I feel like Shroom should know better than that. Either way, 3 teams left now. Let's see if this magic character also can dunk XD. There's no way they make another character that can dunk. I mean, even with the dunk changes coming next week, you never know. Maybe they find it acceptable to do that. Nuke's already been dropped now as well. Trying to get rid of those bonds whenever possible. And ideally, if there is a shop, NTU ideally need to get some purchases in, but there aren't really any shops anymore once that nuke's already been dropped down. FFD are now trying to apply a bit of pressure onto TSM. Blink with no armor left. He's been rapidly healed up by Luca. That's that heal bunny. And TSM are rapidly running out of space as TSM continue to apply pressure, as well as FFD. Fake Strikes does not get the stun, unfortunately. Blink Stone on Spider Brawl as well. They've placed an E-plat already. TSM are now have control over the Abyss temporarily. So just putting down to the south side. Chilling Finale has also been used by Dracos. Fake Strikes is already found dead by Blink in this scenario. Elker Milgan does connect. And the last member, Fuzu, is dead. FFD are out at third place. Just 2 teams left now. Furious popped by Numa. Abyss Breaker popped onto Meat. That's probably bought them just enough time to survive this one. I think Dreadstar still on cooldown, so Luca cannot really exchange, get enough value here. Maybe they play the super long game and wait for that Dreadstar before looking for an engagement. That next zone is going to be on solid ground for the most part, with a little bit of Abyss here and there. Spiderball trying to do a little bit of tech on the mountains. Luca's already making his way down across with E-plat, trying to take control over the Abyss. He's placed it, but now jumped back temporarily. I think it was a bit of a waste of a dash, but it should be okay in this scenario. Relatively low cooldowns. And now they just need to keep an eye out for that blink on that Spider Brawl. Rez is also placed. I don't know if it's a bait tactic potentially or something along those lines. Or they're just showing off how much money they have. Or they're placing every consumable on the floor, it seems. They've got the pad play. And that's probably like the average day for a millionaire. Just blowing up cash whenever possible. TSM and NTU still fighting though, still having their own little mini exchanges here and there. It's not turned into a full fight just yet. Spike balls have been placed whenever possible, it seems, by TSM. U-plats as well used by Enuma whenever possible. Reign of Arrows has temporarily split up TSM, but it's going to be fine for now. Just biding their time, but it looks like TSM are winning the armor exchange overall. The Dreadstar's now dropped to just get a one-man stun. It's a very nice prediction there. And Abyss Breaker's also popped, doing a mega amount of damage, but Phantom is now getting rapidly healed up. He does send his Abyss Breaker back onto Blink right at the end. Spider Brawl on super low HP. It looks like it's going to be a disengage. Both teams have reunited with each other fully now. They're going to try again. Looks like Spider Ball's going to go in for the dunk. Phantom there with reinforcement. Shield is already broken. TSM have been temporarily split up. Looks like they're going to go for the kill on to Meat potentially. Ideally, they should do this. Phantom is maybe going to provide that extra bit of defensive measure whenever possible. Enuma should surely seal the deal here. 1 HP, surely. Oh my god, that's illegal. Luke is going to just negate all of that damage. They sent Blink away temporarily into the zone, taking a little bit of damage from the Abyss Breaker as well. And a nice little dash shield bash from Phantom. Ult is used. Spider was taking a bit of damage, normally taken as well. That was probably unintentional. That leaves Blink with super HP. Had to drop the E-plat. Luca also now on super HP. NTU might be able to seal the deal here. Spider was taking 1 kill, 2 kills. Numa. Dunk doesn't miss. And that is NTU taking game number 6. Very nice stuff between those last 2 teams. There we go. That is the end of today's scrim block. There will be a poll just after this game to ask if the elixirs should be banned. Let me just check if they've been said that they've been banned or not already. Let me quickly check. Nope, it's not in the ban list. Okay, so I'll definitely look to put in a poll up in for that one. Thanks everyone for watching. Unfortunately, there will not be scrims tomorrow, so because not enough teams signed up. I think there are scrims on Sunday, so it is what it is. Hope everyone enjoyed. Have a great rest of the night. Peace.